Hey, what's going on, everyone? Good morning. Welcome to Sick of This Shit Publications. It's Tuesday, which means it's Notes of the Week. Well, if you're catching us live, it's Tuesday. And that means it's Notes of the Week with Nick Perro, not your dad, and Walter Ryan, level 36 magic user. We may be joined by our good buddy, Evan Fields,
Yes.
but he has an appointment this morning, so we're seeing if he's going to be able to make it with us. And if not, the show must go on. It always does. Walter and I are going to have a great discussion. We've been having a lot of fun before the show. Good morning, everyone. As you come on in, smash the heart, say hi. Walter, how the hell are you doing today?
I'm doing good. And like you said, I just want to give some praise to Margaret Williams and Will Fullwood for last week. And it was just a really fun time. We had a marathon. That's our record. I don't think I can break the record today, but I mean, that was great. And it's just wonderful. Like the privilege of meeting all these inspiring people on Substack has been the silver lining of this miserable couple years. I would say
yeah, I'll agree there. Like I entered this misery last year much like with my eyes wide open after I lost my job. And now I am much less miserable than I was 8 months ago, 9 months ago, whatever it is, because I have friends. Like that's been the only blessing out of all of this is we're making friends. We're building community again. We're doing the thing that we've all been missing and been like, where is all of this? Why can't we have this? And now we're like, well, fuck it. Let's just do it. And we're going to have it. And so we've been building a community around us, and it's amazing to get to participate in that and be a part of it. So good morning, everyone. Welcome. Smash the heart with us and say hi where you're at. I'm holding up. So make at our house, we do those little bead melty things. And so my son did a cactus, awesome. And I was like, I need to do something fun and funny. And so I made RFK Jr.'s brainworm.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Nice. Yeah. Bobby.
And he's a lot smarter now than he was before because he took all the smart from Bobby Jr. And now he's this free little worm just worming his way across Notes of the Week, sitting on my desk, hanging out with me on my drawing that I still have. Yeah, handing out free vaccinations, COVID shots, and telling people to just suck less.
That's perfect.
Oh, I gotta go get my water bottle. I'll be right back. Walter, monologue.
Okay, I'll monologue. But well, you know what gets me monologuing is all those hearts. So let's see those hearts. And then there's no hearts. That's always the way it goes. But I was just talking, a couple of you might have been on my chat with Natasha K. And what we've really we're coming to the conclusion is that the whole point of this community is giving ourselves permission to inherit our power. You know, so much of our society is designed to just make us default to unfair deals. You know, they'll say, well, these good things are coming, and then we wait. So there's delay. Well, we need to start doing and giving each other permission to do and have the validation to just say, we need change and we need change now. You know, it doesn't have to be a complete revamping of the system, but something has to happen today. Somebody said that didn't sound right. I hope
no. Jason
he was responding to
he put in a comment.
He was responding to his own comment.
Nick's like, hold my worm. That doesn't sound right. If I was going to say anything, I would say hold my snake. And then I would pull my snake out of nowhere and just be like, oh, hey, look, I've got a 5-foot long snake.
Yeah. So I was just saying, Nick, a lot of this having friends on the internet, and it actually, there's a lot more to it than we're maybe giving. I mean, we shouldn't be flippant about that, because this giving ourselves permission to have our feelings be validated, to speak the words that we know need to be said, because there's so often in my life, I've just said what everybody's thinking, you know, and there's Evan. Evan just joined in the chat. We constantly live.
Evan, all your links are good, brother. That I sent you in Signal, so you can accept the show invite and jump on in with us if you're able to. We'll be here for 2 hours, brother. So come on, join us whenever you're able to.
Yeah, I wanted to say we constantly live beneath that kind of umbrella of oppression and expectation, where we're not even allowed to challenge the status quo that is built on corruption and abuse, and just like the various trauma bonds that we can all reflect, because not one person among us has never had an abusive relationship, whether it be in your family or at work or politically or romantically. We all know what abuse is, and just kind of die. And every characteristic of abuse is that you are just not allowed to talk about. You have to live within these false parameters that make the abuse possible. And our conversations here are dismantling that. A big one. We don't have enough money for this. Well, let's just stop spending $1 trillion bombing little kids in foreign nations then. And you're just like not even allowed to say that in so many instances. And so much of the American public is complicit with this indoctrination where they just allow these injustices to continue. So the whole purpose of these talks is to just give people that permission. Come into your power. Speak the truth. And the more people, because once we collapse those false parameters of that, the bizarro boundaries of injustice that incarcerate us right now, we will inherit the better world.
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree. And one of the things, I mean, you and I talk a lot about is just masculinity and men stepping up, men needing to step in and fill the void that others have been doing and others have been asking for men to step into, not because we are better, but because it's the space that's open that society has deemed is more important on a whole. And I don't say that as something that I'm happy about. I don't think men's voices should be more important than anybody else's voices. I don't think white men's voices should be more important than anybody else's voices out there. However, we currently live in a society that is built on systematic oppression and white supremacy. So my voice does mean more and when it enters the conversation, not because I wanted to, but because society has made it that way. And we're trying to break that down so that everybody else's ideas have the same equal and equitable chance to be put out there.
Kat said that the other day.
We just need to break the societal part first, which means men, we need to step up right now and be really fucking loud because everybody has asked us to, so that when the time comes that everybody has equity, we can continue speaking and saying what we're saying, but we won't be alone because everybody's voice will have that equal weight that it's supposed to in these conversations. And I'm not saying tolerate intolerable positions. I am not one of those people that thinks that we should tolerate every idea and that every idea has value and merit. No, we should not be policing speech. Like, we shouldn't be restricting speech until it hurts other people. And when that speech is meant to incite hate and violence and destruction, it should be handled that way. And so I don't think white supremacist speech, it holds equal value to what we're saying. We're just giving ourselves permission to say it because the men, like, for me anyways, on the manosphere side, and I hate the manosphere, like I hate the name of the manosphere, like I just think it's stupid. But we need one that doesn't suck. And the thing with the manosphere is the men on the right, or the men who claim to be like part of this centrist pro AI movement tech broligarchy thing, are all just giving themselves permission to say whatever the fuck they want, whenever they want. Whether it's smart or dumb, they just say it. They say whatever is on their minds. Well, why can't I? Why can't we? Everybody else around us says that men get to do that, so I'm going to fucking do it. And I'm going to say what's on my mind, and I'm going to say it really loudly. And if it means that other people are happy because of it, like, because I believe that people inherently have value and should be worth shit, just because you live, like, hey, you're alive, you're worth something, is fuck those guys. Fuck those guys on the right for spewing this nonsense and garbage that makes girls feel like they're less than boys, or boys feel like they need to abuse women and those around them. Like, that's so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And we need to, Robin, you're 100% right. We need to be loud about it. We need to stop. And I'm glad that people have woken up to the idea of the fuck you left and the fuck you progressive movement. And that's the progressives saying fuck you to everybody else and doing the right things
Yeah.
and doing it loudly and boldly and stop sitting behind other people. And other people have been saying this for decades. We've just been
Yeah.
suppressing their voices. And
Yeah.
nobody's been willing to just continually say the same things that our friends who are being abused and beaten down more daily and hourly have been saying.
Yeah.
We're just finally taking the torch up that they have asked us and handed us and said run with it, and we're fucking running with it, because there's a
Yeah.
void that needs to be filled. And I'd rather hear that, say, my niece or someone like that who may listen to someone on the right. I'd rather hear eventually that they found us and are like, oh, I'd rather listen to this because I don't feel like shit afterwards.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. You
that's a
know,
better world that we're doing with these discussions. And so thanks everyone for being here. Restricting hate speech is a good thing for everyone. Yes, Courtney, but it has to be done right, and it has to be done in a way that it does not restrict the freedom of thought, because people are gonna be racist. I ain't gonna claim that people are good all the time. People are not inherently good or bad. They're just people, and they do things, and many people are ego driven. And until we can break that society, we have to
yeah.
keep working with it. Um, but we can't. I'm not for restricting speech unless it hurts, unless it's meant to abuse and hurt and cause pain.
Yeah.
Like, if that's the only purpose of the speech, that's not speech. That
Yeah.
that is defamation, and I know we have defamation laws, but we need better systems for how we approach speech in the US. Our First Amendment needs to be a little more
Yeah.
revitalized for the 21st, 22nd century and beyond. And Mr. Smegma, the Smeglamaniac, yeah, he's a racist piece of garbage.
That's, you said a lot of things that are really interesting there. And yeah, I was on a talk with Kat and Rachel, this woman votes, and somebody in the comments said, like, I'm glad Walter's here because otherwise it seems like just two angry women. And I think that's like, and it's like, yeah, I don't even have to say anything. I just want to be like, I'm here to listen. And this is stuff that, you know, and that's, we have to be that supporting, in that supporting role where it's like, yeah, this is totally, and it's like, it doesn't like you need that for other men to see, you know, me showing respect to these viewpoints from just me being there and listening, and because otherwise people are so quick and they've all been conditioned to be dismissive. And some of the things you said too, like racism is conditioned into people, but on top of that, we've been conditioned with this tolerance of racism. And you look at the manosphere, the toxic patriarchy, where, you know, a few months ago when Charlie Kirk was assassinated in a school shooting, people were just quoting what he said and losing their jobs. Well, you can't be disrespectful of him, how evil you are. But then when Mueller passes away, the president goes and celebrates his death. And they're not even aware of their hypocrisy, you know, because the radical members of the white supremacy ideology, they live in this eternal present. They try to score whatever points they can score in that minute, disregarding that 2 seconds later, they will completely contradict what they claim to believe, you know? And like what you're saying, that's not free speech. If people are out there teaching a contradictory philosophy, I've reflected on how important it is for me just to have conversations with my children and say, yeah, I mean, Republicans are disrespectful assholes. You don't have to respect them. There was an issue a couple years back at the school because kids were wearing their Let's Go Brandon stickers. And I called them to school. I'm like, I don't want kids in the school openly saying, fuck the president. You know, I think that's disrespectful. And they're like, well, it's Let's Go Brandon. I'm like, what does this mean? You know, it's a symbol. You know what? You punish a kid if they put up this symbol for fuck you? You do, don't you? So punish them when they have their Let's Go Brandon, because that's also a symbol for fuck you. And that's disrespectful. And it's just like, and it's not suppression. And it's like, if you can suppress the speech of kids saying profanities, then you can apply that when that profanity is directed at a political candidate.
I see an interesting chat or interesting comment in the chat from our friend Jason is make them travel to strange, interesting countries and have them try the food. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You
Mark
also
Twain.
don't even really need to do that, though. Like, most of these folks are,
They're
I'm
afraid to
going to
fly.
generalize here for a second. Most folks are afraid to go to cities
Oh,
outside of their own state. Even
that's
within their own
yeah,
states, they're
yeah,
afraid to go to cities. But then they go to if they ever get the chance to go to those cities, the response that I've noticed is, oh, this isn't what I was expecting. It's really nice here. It's really pretty here. There's not, it's not dangerous looking. I was misinformed on this. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, because the whole idea is that rural versus urban, and we have turned urban into mean, or not we, the right has turned urban into always meaning disrespectful, rowdy, uppity, black, anything that is lesser than white landowning slave owners, because the idea was to be a slave owner or a property owner to then have the right to vote. Originally in this country, you had to own property. Well, slave owners were property. They are no longer property. And now these men lost all their property and they're pissed off about it. So they create laws to, and they create ideas that where these cities are, where these people congregated into, where former slaves left and got integrated into and assimilated into areas, and then other communities, say the Irish who got kicked out of their countries and their lands and had to flee, or they had a famine and they had to flee and come to the US and immigrated, or the Scottish or other groups came in, the Italians, the Jewish immigrants, the all of the immigrants that came in, many of
yeah,
them stayed in cities because they weren't property owners. They didn't have the ability to buy land. They didn't have the ability to buy the things that these white rural landowners had and held on to a lot of. And so cities became this evil thing, and have since the dawn of America have been this idea of evil, because they're the integrated areas where everybody comes together and we get
yeah,
immigrants, and we really don't want more immigrants. We just wanted a place for us. And then you go visit the cities and they're like, oh shit, this is nothing like I thought.
yeah.
The
I,
food, like that you get to, and yes, this is a long tangent to say, yeah, go make people travel, go make people
yeah,
eat food. One of the ways to do that is just go bring them to a city they've never been to outside of their own state. If you're in a red state, go find a way to get to somebody to go to a blue city with you. Maybe go somewhere fun that you know. You've probably been to a city before. You know how to navigate them. You know where to find good restaurants. You know how to find hole in the wall places. You know how to talk to locals. Go do that, because then people come back and they're like, oh my God, this was just like home. And then they're like, oh shit, normal people. They're all normal. And that breaks the fucking cycle. It helps break the cycle.
oh, I saw Shane's in the chat. Good to see you, Shane. I haven't had a chance to talk. I know he's been so busy working so hard covering the whole world, because Shane's one of the few journalists who's out there doing all that work. So
Oh my
thank you,
God.
Shane.
Yeah, Shane, if you want to jump on too, if you'd be interested in just hanging out for
Come on
part
and
of the
get
morning
rowdy,
and talk,
Shane, if you want.
I'll send you the link, and just give me a thumbs up or something in the chat and I'll send
Yeah.
you a link.
How
Uh,
big of a town did you grow up in, Nick?
I grew up in Vermont, which historically was the whitest state in the Union for a very, very long time. It is no longer the whitest state in the Union. I'm proud to know that. Um, I grew up in a town that had about 5,000 ish people in it.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, and almost everybody knew everybody. Almost everybody knew everybody.
Yeah.
We could, like, so for us, I grew up in, like I said, a town of about 5,000 people. The next biggest town to us was about 20-minute drive. And
Yeah.
then our big city, which is most people know about Vermont, is Burlington. That's one of our big cities. Our big city has like 30,000 people in it. Like, it is an average sized
Yeah.
town in most states, but for us, it's a city. Um, and that was about 30-ish minutes away. So maybe 15 and then 30
Yeah.
for like big town and city. We had a main street. We were a pretty affluent town for the most part. Our town was old.
Yeah.
Um, it was built in our town was established, I believe, before the U.S. was. Um, it's an old Protestant. I'll give a little history lesson because it's actually fun. Is my town is an old my hometown. I won't give the name of it, but it's a and it, yes, this might be outing me a little bit, but it is a fun story. Is in the town. There's a church that's round,
Mm.
um, and it's not really round. It actually has 16 sides, but it was built because the Protestants believe that that the devil hid in the shadows, and so they would build round churches with 16 candles all around, one in each corner, so that there were no shadows inside the church, so the devil couldn't hide in the shadows. Um,
What they do about
and
the
so,
shadows on the outside?
no, they didn't worry about that. They were in the church.
That'd be the first
They
thing
didn't want the they
my
didn't want the
my
devil in the church, so they were like, "Ha, ha, ha! We built round church."
I would have been the first guy to be like, what about the next thing you know, I'm like getting
You would be
burned. I'm like,
outside
oh,
on a
shit.
cross. You'd be getting burned at the stake as a witch. Like Walter's a witch. See
Then I would
what
disappear.
we talk all about, like the witches
Oh
in
man.
Salem and the folks who were burned, but we never talk about the people who did the fucking burning.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
we don't talk about the fact that they murdered women and trampled a dude
yeah.
because they spoke out. They're doing what we did, what we're doing
Right
right
now.
now.
I
Right
was just
now,
reading about that
we
in the
would be the
demon haunted.
witches in Salem.
I was reading about that in the demon haunted world because they were doing it in Europe too, and that's a lot of how the church got all of its wealth. Because once they got
Mhm.
going with it, they were burning. But I mean, then they were just like they'd seize the property, they'd pay all these people, they had bounties and stuff that they were sending out. Yeah, they burned women, not witches. Good correction there,
Yeah.
Shane. And they were burning women, but they'd steal their property, they'd steal their wealth. The church still has that money. Women are owed reparations by the church. Frankly, I mean, the church should be returning all this stuff that they got by burning women, but
And I
we'll
say
talk about
witches loosely. I know you all I know that it is they burned women. They
that. Yes.
burned and murdered women. And we still remember it. We still talk a lot about it. But we don't actually talk about the people who did the burning as much as we should. We don't talk about the town and the murderous intent, mob
Yeah.
intent that they had that killed all these women. And that these women were just speaking up, and some of them were landowners and some of them
Yeah.
had property, and that was a fucking problem to other people in town because god damn, if women have power of any sort, like fuck that, they couldn't do that. No, 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 we're just going to burn them. We're going to call them witches and we're going to burn them.
Well, it was a lot
It's
like
the exact
ice.
same thing.
It was, and there was bounties on it, and they had people, they had all
Mm-hmm.
their tests, and it was just all just completely corrupt. And yeah, they were like, you burn this many people, and then you get this much money, and it's just what's going on in the airports right now.
Yeah, and
Same fucking thing.
we have to talk about it in the same way. We have we have to talk about it in the same way, and we have to associate it to our own history, because what else does it mean? Like I don't like oligarchs and stuff. Like what is an oligarch to an American? Is an
Correct.
oligarch is an oligarch something that Americans actually really care about, or is a robber baron somebody that Americans care about? Or like how do we use our words? Why do we talk about topics the way we do? Because these fucking racists have been doing it forever. And these racists have been burning, and or these assholes and these bigots have been burning women and atheists
Yeah,
and non-believers because
they're
I'm
weak.
gonna,
The
I'm gonna
men are
say
so
this.
weak. Yeah.
the the Catholic Church and the Christian Church has a history of murder and genocide, and has taken over two
Slavery.
continents at least
Yeah.
three has at least taken over 3 continents through slavery, through oppression, through regression, through chaos. The Christian church and the Catholic church has spread like wildfire since its inception through violent means. Sorry, not sorry. Like
And well, our
the
kids deserve to hear about that in schools. I mean, we should
yeah,
be teaching that truth because that's just history. It's just
yeah,
history.
we validated slavery by the church. We don't talk about the genocide of the Native Americans and the native population to the US very much. Not in the way we should. We don't talk about the fact that they still live on reservations. We have an apartheid system in the US that we've had forever, and we just don't want to call it apartheid. We call it reservations. No,
Mm-hmm.
and we're bad at keeping the treaties that we gave to them and we signed with them to establish those reservations. I wonder where Israel found that from. I wonder where South Africa got some of those ideas from, because we exported the fascism and the bigotry back to the rest of the world. That's been one of our legacies as America. And guess what? We have to confront that. We have to
Yeah.
be willing to confront it too. And we have to be willing to learn from it and say, our ancestors made mistakes, some fucking horrible and horrific ones. Our present day people are trying to make those same mistakes.
Yeah.
We can and we are doing something about it.
Yeah.
And yeah, we stole a nation. We stole an entire continent from nations of native groups who had culture, who had cities, who had interstate commerce and community and would be considered nation states. We conquered them. The history of the expansion westward through Mormonism is genocide, targeted genocide of the native population. That's a branch of Christianity. Another one. Every branch of Christianity has spread through violent means.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting because we were talking about our hometowns, and my town was 2,000 people, and I remember when I was growing up, pretty young, maybe third or fourth grade, there was this issue, and it was treaty rights, because I think it was the Ojibwe tribe. They had in the treaty. This is a whole branch of law, like all the various treaties. It's really kind of interesting
Mm-hmm.
because they're the independent. What is it? Separate but dependent nation, like what that's their designation today of the First Nations. But yeah, the Ojibwe had the right to spearfish. That was in one of the original treaties because that was their traditional way of just fishing. So, and I was in like third grade, and there was just this outrage because it's like, why should the members of the First Nations have rights that we don't have? And it was like, it was actually scary because even my teachers and stuff, they were organizing these protests. They'd go, start bonfires, and they'd show up in protests. And I remember being in a classroom and I was reading the treaty, and I'm just like, oh, wait, I'm like, here in my innocence, one of the first times, I was just like, hey, wait a minute, there's something you guys missed. Right here in the treaty, it says they have that right. So I guess that's the end of this. And the whole class just turns on me, like just rage. I felt the rage. And it's just like, okay, I guess I have to reevaluate everything I know about human nature. But yeah, you can read about that. I lived through that.
Sorry, my bad,
Yeah.
brother. I
What's
meant
that?
to send you the link.
Oh,
Shane's
okay.
going to jump on for a couple minutes. I meant to
Awesome.
send him the link. Sorry, brother. Yeah, I mean, I grew up in a town too that was very we knew our history around the native population that was there. And our area is heavily Abenaki and Iroquois.
Okay.
And so we learn about them. There's a lot of history in Vermont because luckily for Vermont, although it may be a very white state, the Vermont groups, the founders tended to be on the not less racist side, and they worked with the native population and didn't try and genocide them in the same way that a lot of other American states and groups. Vermont has a lot of history, rich history with intermingling with the tribal groups. And if you are a Vermonter, where you are like third or fourth generation or more Vermont, um,
Yeah.
is oh shit, did I give
Link.
oh no wonder. Wrong fucking link. Wrong link, Shane. Try again.
I saw Natasha's out there too. Maybe she wants to come in too.
Yeah, I'll send Natasha, I'll send you a link too. We can have a fun
I,
powwow on this.
there's something really interesting. I was sitting with my kids for an assignment, and if you just go through and you just look at names in the United States, like so many names are derived from First Nation words,
Yeah.
Mississippi and Manitowoc and just like all these different things. And it's another one of those cases of just like, oh my gosh, like you change your whole perception of history, like just the influence of all these First Nations and their ideology all throughout the whole, and like a lot of things, just so many commonplace words now have their origins, among the First Nations, just that influence. And then we just don't even really give that credit. And it's another one of those just truths that are out in the open that we shamefully teach our children to disregard. And it's like every now and then your kids just pick it up. It's like, what is the origin of this? And it's just like, oh, then you can go down that rabbit hole and discover all these wonderful things about history. Yeah. But I mean, there's just so many beautiful words. I just like being a person who likes words, just listening to different languages, and just the way that they kind of flow without even understanding any of it. Just the sound of it, like rippling water, it's the most beautiful thing.
Yeah. And like, we did a lot of traveling for a while as a family. After we sold our house in Washington, we did a lot of traveling for a couple of years. And one of the things we did when we were traveling was we intentionally went to native sites and first world people's sites, so that First Nations sites, so that we could actually learn about their history. Thank you, Walter. First Nations. And we intentionally taught our kids. When we went back to Vermont to visit family there, we brought them to the Lake Champlain Museum, because that museum gives rich history on the lore around things in Vermont, because we have Champ, which is the lake monster. Like there's a whole bunch of lore around that. And he's like Nessie, the Loch Ness monster. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, Shane. I'm sorry about that, man. That's so fucking annoying.
The universe. The tech bros are after us.
The tech bros don't like us today. But like, also they spent time with the native history in it too. Like they went over like the museums and all this are all about the native history too. Like, and we purposely went to First Nation sites so that we could learn their history too. We would find like reservation overlays for or tribal overlays for the region in the US we were. And we'd be like, here's where this nation used to be, here's where this tribal nation used to be, here's where this group used to be, here's how they were connected or not connected, where they were a warring group. Like when we drove through New York, we talked about the Mohawk and the Tomahawks, and we talked about the warrior classes and where the Mohawk came from and why we talk about Mohawks, and the fact that the Mohawk was a symbol of warriors, and it was scary, and it was given to them by other tribal groups and not by us. It was an actual word for who they were. And like there are certain words that we use nowadays that we don't think about, but are tribal words that are really important or really powerful meanings. There's a reason we use Apache for the Apaches. There's a reason we call tomahawks. We use certain words because they have really powerful significance, and we've stolen and appropriated First Nations culture and then decimated them and want to forget about it. And we weren't going to do that. Like I refuse to do that for my kids. Like I refuse to let them growing up grow up in a fake bliss
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
we've always done good, because that doesn't teach them lessons. Like, that doesn't teach them any good lessons. Like, it teaches them that they just can ignore consequences and pretend that they never happened.
Yeah. And that's
I'm
white supremacy.
teaching, yeah, and I'm teaching my kids, just like I'm trying to teach others around me, is better humaning
Yeah.
is living with the consequences of your actions and values, being able to do that and not shouldering the burdens onto others. And that's just a human trait, but I've called it intelligent masculinity because men need to hear about it.
Yeah.
But it may rebrand itself at some point from intelligent masculinity to just intelligent humaning.
Yeah.
Because fuck, guys, how dumb can people be? How do we? It's okay to push back, and it's okay to teach history. It's okay to teach the truth, and it's okay to be fucking loud about it.
Yeah. I want to say, oh, go ahead.
Yeah. No. I was done, and I'm gonna put my little final fuck to give.
Well, just that characteristic of white supremacy. They live in the eternal present, and a model I've been using to describe it, that I use to try to give people a little bit of hope. It's like when you're playing chess against somebody, and all they do, they put you in check. They put you in check. They put you in check. Because it's like, that seems like it's powerful, right? Like these, whatever I can do that bullies somebody, that makes them feel like they have to respond to what I'm doing, they put you in check. But if you're a good chess player, you can see a larger strategy, that even if they put you in check a whole bunch of times, you can set it up where they then succumb to your larger strategy. Because these white supremacists, they only see that immediacy, that check, and they don't see that they are setting themselves up for a bigger failure. And I want people to know that, because it's tempting, it's like in Star Wars. Oh, is the dark side more powerful? It's like, it's not, but it seems like it is, because being a bully always seems like it's more powerful until they set the stage for their own demise. Shane's here.
Shane. Welcome, brother. Still not your son.
I'm still not your son.
Neither of our sons. He's too old to be mine.
We don't have that privilege.
I would have had to been 6. How old are you?
That beard would be gray, my sir.
You were 26, right?
Yes, sir.
I would have been 6 years old, so I wouldn't have even hit puberty, so I wouldn't have been able to help in the making.
I don't know, man. It could have been the Dark Ages. We don't really know. I mean, they lived to 30. Life changed, like in a different time, perhaps, but the circumstances are entirely different. So
you could be my son, and it would be my privilege. I would be.
I appreciate that, Walter. Thank you very much.
I mean, I wouldn't be upset if you were. I'm just saying it would be weird as shit.
Yeah, and
there needs to be at least another 10 years between us before it would have made some sort of sense, because then I would have been 16 in high school, and we know those happen. There are plenty of kids get made in high school. Kids are having sex for the first time. Some people don't do it safely. Some people repeatedly don't do it safely. Some people get raped. And there are places where you cannot abort children. And there are places where you cannot have the freedom to choose for yourself what the next step might be. Shane, is that a Stein that you're drinking out of?
0.5 liters, my friend.
Are you drinking beer this morning, or is that coffee?
9. This coffee.
9?
Coffee.
9.
But it is German made. Zipper.
Ja, das ist gut.
Yes, we've traveled. It's interesting. I was like, the reason I was listening to you guys while I made coffee stuff, and I, ended up dropping a comment in there because you guys are insightful and smart, of course. But,
Yay!
What really your discussion made me think of was, you've been talking about this, the indigenous Americans. But I've spent a lot of time recently thinking about the genocide that literally no one in this country acknowledges at all recently. And it's kind of like a weird way that I got there.
Yeah.
Because I love archaeology. To be honest with you, you're going to be hard pressed to meet a nerdier nerd out there. My brain loves everything. As long as it's got a start that we don't know where it is and an end, as long as there's something to figure out, I love it. Okay. I'm looking at all of these archaeological discoveries. I've been thinking to myself, maybe I should just drive out into the desert. Yes. Maybe I should just drive out into the desert for fun, go to Utah, California, find some archaeological sites, because we have so much history in America, particularly in these desertificated areas that used to be lush, open, grassland, and cultures, peoples lived there.
Yeah.
And their
Quick
lives,
history
their
lesson.
tales were, what's up?
Go after. I'll go after. I won't interrupt you. Sorry.
The life, like the histories and of those people and what we would have known about them would have been recorded in the oral histories of the native peoples, which means that when they committed a genocide of 100 million people for manifest destiny, since the first white people landed on this continent, and they brought with them the best weapon they ever had, disease, and they used it to, wasn't us. They just all died of pox. Guess what? When you give people blankets that you wrapped around people that were sick and it kills the entire tribe, it's called genocide. But the reason I think about this, because I want to know, I'm like, oh my God, there was in the time, because think about how big the US is. It was a landmass. It was massive. People would have lived here. They would have done and known so many things. My brain is screaming, I want to know more. Yeah. And then you go and you look for where the truth would be, and they're all dead.
Yeah.
And it sucks. And it's like you said, it is apartheid, Nick. It is a reservation. A reservation is apartheid. You know, I've known about Native peoples a long time. I grew up going to Montana. If you're familiar with the region at all, eastern Montana, there's a place called Flathead Lake. Well, Flathead Lake is partially on a reservation. In fact, the house that I would go to, my grandparents' home, it was on that reservation. We had to deal with reservation laws. The reservation took better care of their bears for a long time until, in fact, it was profitable for them to, hunt bears and wolves, because they're in an apartheid system where they're kept in poverty and drugs, and it's corrupt.
That's why casinos are allowed on reservations, because it's corrupt and it keeps them impoverished.
Right. Well, actually, the First Nations own the casinos here in Wisconsin, anyway.
So,
it's actually
that's
really good.
Changed a lot recently. So all the casino stuff has started changing,
because it can be in some cases, like in a preservation with the casino, those people do well. Now, the Salish Kootenai people up in Flathead Lake, on their reservation, you drive through, it looks like a trailer park, and every winter you read about the kids freezing to death in the cold, because they're high on drugs. And they help people illegally hunt because it'll make them some money, because the chiefs and the people at the top steal the money. And the problem is they are their own nation. There is no oversight. If you're a good chief, it's like anywhere else, right? If you're a good chief and you take care of your people, of course, you're going to have a wealthy, prosperous community. In fact, some reservations are that way, because you've got a good leader. But the situation itself, when you create an apartheid state within a country, and you don't care what happens there, you're giving them a blank check, and whatever happens, happens. And, if you want to, one of the best things they could have done was they were working with tribes to promote clean energy. They were bringing investment into these tribes. This is one of the biggest Green New Deal aspects of Biden's whole thing. Was he was giving these tribes not only the opportunity to be economically prosperous, but not only that, it would have locked in a lifetime of sustainable energy and economic prosperity for these communities. What Trump did wasn't just, we don't like green energy, we don't like windmills, we don't like women, we don't like brown people, you're not getting it. No, he was like, I'm taking away this opportunity that you've been given, that you're already in contractual discussions about, to give your entire community a future in a country that will be able to sustain itself. They took that opportunity from them. And then they said, you can build dirty, extractive gas and coal and shit on your reservation, and you have to deal with the people who are racist and wanted to take those opportunities from you in the first place. It's really sad. And I think it's good that you guys are talking about it, because it's like another one of the million things. Like we're watching I'm unlearning everything I've ever been taught.
Yes.
In the last 3 weeks, I believe now I don't eat my country. I was disgusted with America.
Yeah.
Now if they drafted me, I would never fight for this country. I would never do anything for this country because this country has killed millions of people since he took power. He's going to kill millions more. It's unstoppable. And if you're to be honest with you, I can't even begin to comprehend, and I can't fully even process the amount of people they've killed because it would break me.
Yeah.
It would actually break me if I sat down and processed how many people they're killing every day. I get a snippet of that. And it's already like, you have to put a barrier to do my job. I have to cut off a certain aspect of my humanity because it would destroy me to feel the death of every single child that I see reported every day. And it's important to acknowledge that we're the cause of that. That every moment that we debate or speculate or say we need to wait till the midterms, 1,000 more people die. I like that. That is something you should consider. It's not about what you see. It's about the fact that we have reporting from Ecuador that the coalition forces that went in there were raising farms, hurting, torturing, killing people in Ecuador. This is a limited expedition sent by troops from multiple nations. And there's other northern European nations that were part of this operation as well. Kind of weird. Okay. All I'm saying is like, you can't just, I implore you, actually, I can't make you, but I implore you to not look at every day when you wake up, what can I do to save America? You're not in danger. Someone is going to get bombed tomorrow. And today you woke up and somebody died. Every day, every second, someone's dying. I'm not saying feel that every second. What I'm saying is acknowledge it and use that to guide how you execute and best use your time in your life. Yeah. Because if you don't, not only are you wasting time, but you're not going like, so I guess I could go in circles about it. I don't have a whole lot of time, and I know you guys want to get like Natasha in here and everything, but it just reminded me of that. It reminded me of the unseen loss. Just you're right. Because we can't ignore it. We can't not say that. It's not about America anymore. Every time they bomb a refinery, did anyone talking about the fact that Hawaii had a record landmark flood? Holy shit. What is going on? Meteorology. El Nino's acting weird as fuck right now. It's weird. Everything is weird. Every metric ton of crude oil they burn in the Middle East has repercussions, that being famine, that being drought, that being the destruction of essential ecological systems. Everything matters. This is not, and let's not even talk about the piece I put out yesterday. I intentionally put in a piece from March 22nd, a picture of the Marine Expeditionary Unit of those sailors and those soldiers in that hangar deck. And if you haven't gone and read that, you don't even need to go read it. I want you to scroll down to section 4, and I want you to look at those young men and women as they frown, as you can tell that they don't want to be there next to this old white guy who's fucking stoked to go to war. Yeah. These young men and women, younger than me. If they ran a draft right now, I'm out. I'm the last person. I'm 26. No, it's the 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 21, 20. Are you serious? Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah. Is that really what we're doing? You're going to send fucking teenagers to die? Yeah. That's what you're doing? Because if you think they haven't already spooled up the selective service, you're tripping. They already did it. They already started it. There's a fucking pattern to a pre-draft situation. You can map it. It's all a system. It's all analysis. It works every time. They've started it. We've got analogs for this. We've got Vietnam. We've got Korea. We've got this. This is how they do it. They decided that some shit's going to go down, and they wanted to be ready to draft people. Mm-hmm. And guess what? Now they're really looking at it. You know, it's life. Value life, not your country. Not your city, not your community. That's all important. Value life, human life. Yeah. If we can't, we've already lost our humanity if we can't consider human life in how we act, how we go forward. This is no longer a political discussion. This is about life. This is about, do we allow millions of children to starve because Elon Musk wants to make a statement? And we did.
Yeah.
We already did. It's done. Their malaria is crazy in the DRC. They can't control it. The U.S. pulls out of whom? People die everywhere. Life.
Yeah.
Prioritize life. Please. It's not about politics. You're not fighting for your future. You are fighting for the future of your kids, but you're also fighting for kids alive right now.
Yeah.
Everywhere. So I guess, like, I know that was kind of like a lot. And
that's important.
But it is. It sits heavy on me, especially now more than ever, because I used to report on other things. And now I lose sleep.
Yeah.
Now I'm exhausted, just trying to give people a picture of a war that is intentionally obscured beyond any viewable. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's like, and there's no help. There's no one else out there.
Yeah.
There's not like a fucking team of people. It's me and whatever tools I can create to do it. And
then when we come forward and say the Republicans are just a party of evil, they're a party of genocide, the only response is for us to tell us, well, that's an inappropriate thing for you to say, Walter. You know, it's sort of like, look at all the kids being raped in their concentration camps. But when we signal that, we get more aggression than they ever see for all the people they kill.
I would agree with you, actually, except the Democrats are also a party of genocide.
Yes.
There is no party that is not a party of genocide in this country.
Yeah.
Because Nick stated very clearly that we are running an apartheid state. Democrats were in control. Obama was in control when they were running an apartheid state.
Yeah.
Biden didn't say, oh, you know what? We're running an apartheid state. We're going to change how things are. We're going to make sure that these people are treated equally. We're going to get them the reparations they deserve. He did not do that. Yes, he did a nice thing. Yes, he offered them an opportunity to be more economically prosperous and have a better future for their communities. No Democrats. The issue is, vote for a Democrat. It's not that simple. It's just not, because look, Israel owns the Democratic Party probably more than they own the Republican Party. It really seems that way. You don't see the Republicans coming out and being like, we must defend Israel all the time. Like, it's Schumer who's the loudest.
Yes.
It's Jeffries who's the loudest. It's the Democrats who took the picture with the guy who called Trump, and Reuters confirmed this. Bibi calls Trump 27th. Hey, bro, they're all in the house, which actually confirms my hypothesis from the beginning. Was Israel said they had an opportunity to decapitate the regime, and then they basically pressured Trump into backing them because they knew if they started that shit, they couldn't finish it. And so Bibi calls Trump. Reuters has 3 sources who know the matter, reported on this yesterday.
Yeah.
Trump approved the strike at like last minute after a phone call with Benjamin Netanyahu. This was not a planned out war. This was Bibi promising Iran would collapse when he bombed them. And we might have to counter a couple missiles, but it'll be quick.
You're right, though, too, Shane. I've been seeing the same thing as I've been trying to interview all these progressive candidates. And just more and more I hear the Democratic establishment just deliberately opposes. They spend the money that people send them in donations to oppose the kind of candidates that people in these districts actually want to run. And then they're more willing to lose these elections than they are to allow progressive candidates that would actually represent the people to take office. Yeah. So, I'm coming at it from another angle, but I'm seeing the same things you're seeing.
I think a breakup's in order. You know, since July last year.
Yeah.
I've been
Natasha's
writing about
got thoughts
purple.
on this too, I know.
Purple's my favorite color. It's vibrant. It hits. It's got depth. You can mix it all kinds of different ways and get all kinds of fantastic colors. Yes, I'm an artist too. I do lots of things. But the great thing about purple is it's what you get when you mix red and blue. It's when you take this flag behind me and you put all those colors together, you get purple. That is what this country needs to be. Not red, not blue, not Democrat, not Republican, purple. And I mean, if
and if it means for the moment we have to fall under the label of Democrat, because that's the only way that we can
Fine.
get into power, fine.
Fine.
But do it through a different, you don't have to be a Democrat. I went and voted in our primary, and I got there, and they're like, hey, you can vote. I was like, okay, give me my ballot. They're like, which one do you want? I was like, what do you mean, which one do I want? I was like, I'm a Democrat. They're like, no, you're a registered independent. I was like, sweet. I'm still going to vote for the Democrats this time. But
can I get both? I'm gonna like. Can we
should be allowed to vote.
I should have asked, because that's
we
like
should be allowed to vote for both. That should be a
vote
constitutional case.
Yeah, like that should be. We should be able to vote for both, because it's not voting twice. You're voting for two. You're
Different
voting
parties.
for both sides of
That would
the
moderate a lot of things.
discussion to see, do I want either this Republican, let's say, or this Democrat, or this Working Families Party, or this Democratic Socialist Party member, or this, let's say, even conservative Democrat or conservative progressive, because those are not opposites. Conservative and progressive are not opposites. Conservative is conserving something. You need to protect it. You need to defend it. You need to make it stronger and let it grow. Conservation requires growth and expansion, which is progress.
Well, the
opposite of a progressive is a regressive. Yes, the current conservatives conserve this system of supremacy and wealth and oppression. The conservatives, I imagine, and that I see moving forward, are conservatives who believe in life as a fundamental value, and their only understanding of conservation is, I conserve life. I value life and the existence, and I'm not talking these fake pro-lifers or these anti-natalists or pro-natalists. I ain't one of those folks who say that everybody has to be having babies or nobody can be having babies. That's your choice. But I'm pro real life. If you're alive, you have value. That's a conservative idea, because I want to conserve humanity.
Yeah.
But I'm shifting it away from, I'm not a capitalist conservative. I'm a humanitarian conservative. But I'm also very progressive, as you all know, because they're not opposites. And that's something we've been lied to think about. That we're opposites. We're not on a straight line. Nothing is. Everything's a spectrum.
Well, that's
Purple
like, if
is
you're
a great
caveman,
example.
Like a caveman, that's like progress to a caveman. Let's put things on a line. It's like, we're way past that now. We need another axis at least. You know, it's like, let's plot things out in different ways.
What is a caveman, right? Are we like, what is a caveman? I could tell you that I've seen 30 different things in the last 2 years that suggest that a caveman is wildly inappropriate to call someone as advanced as a fucking hominid. Okay? like let's chill out. Like, not that you're like, but like, let's stop this. The whole like, holier than thou, we're advanced as shit. No, we're dumb. We're probably unevolving ourselves because we've removed natural pressures in terms of like evolution. We've experienced zero pressure, which very well could explain why you have billionaires that are narcissistic sociopaths, because they experience zero environmental pressures on whether or not they should do something. Consequences are absent in life. Historically, if I'm a saber tooth and I choose to let that fucking gazelle go, I'm going to starve to death if I don't find another one. For them, I could let all the farms collapse because I can spend $1 million on a loaf of bread.
We got all this
for the
money.
rest of my life.
Yeah.
Like, who cares for them? They don't care. There's no consequences. A lack of consequences results in a total systemic breakdown of a natural system. Capitalism is a rejection of natural systems. It refuses to acknowledge physical limitations, refuses to acknowledge physical limits, systemic limits, any kind of tipping point. It is just an entire doctrine of ignorance.
Yes.
That is what capitalism is. It's the doctrine of ignorance. It's the doctrine of extraction without consequence. It's the doctrine of assumption of exponential growth with zero inhibitors. It's delusional. The system is delusional.
Yes.
Look at the world in systems.
You got these.
It's delusional.
You got these billionaires. and they sit around worrying about whether the bodyguards they hire will still protect them after the collapse of civilization when money doesn't mean anything. And that's their only worry. Like they're only worried about whether they'll still. It's like once money has no value,
I'll give you a corn ration. Your corn ration will be the best ration of corn. So you will protect me because we will be the feudal corn lords. Hey, dude, whatever. Man. Like, it's ridiculous. So, you know, I don't know. I did the thing. I came on here and I talked for 20 minutes. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Good.
You know,
that's why we brought you on.
In a while.
We brought you on to talk.
You know, and like, yeah, it's crazy.
We have to attack a system that needs. We need to go on offense against a system that is holding us all back. And I love the U.S. as a place, as groups of people. I grew up in a beautiful area of the U.S. I then moved to a different beautiful area in the U.S. and lived in a city for a while. And then I moved to a different area in the U.S. and it was equally as beautiful because this fucking nation is amazing. Because the land we live on is amazing. Because the area we have, we inhabit a incredible part of the world that you could go visit every climate type, basically.
Yeah.
Like without ever leaving the country. Yet we are so isolated from each other because we have been taught to hate each other.
Yeah.
From different states. We have been taught to further isolate ourselves. Because, again, looping back to what we talked about in the beginning, the system of control is about abuse and it is about beating people down. And the only way that you do that, and that's what the feudal system is, that's what American apartheid is, that's what the Confederacy was, that's what this new Confederacy and these neo-Nazis are, that's what helped spawn some of the Nazi philosophies, was through American actions on oppression and how to hate each other. Like our states, if we didn't have a treaty called the Constitution, there are enough states in this country that would go and attack other states.
Yeah.
Without even a second thought. They would just attack them. That's not a nation. They would annex them. That's not a nation. We can create a nation, though. We don't have to pit states against each other. We don't have to pit our alliance against itself and do this consumption model of over capitalism, because late stage capitalism fucking sucks. Early stage capitalism is kind of okay. Mid stage capitalism is maybe. You're lulled into this sense of everybody's happy and we all have money, and then you hit late stage capitalism and it becomes feudalism again, and they just own everything and you're just a peon who works under slavery. So let's not go back that route. But like we can fix these things. Like Oklahomans shouldn't be hating Massachusetts. People from Oklahoma shouldn't hate people from Massachusetts.
So many people hate me when I say I'm from California.
Yeah, like people shouldn't hate you
what?
because you're from California. Like California is one of the largest economies in the world.
We're awesome. Thank us. We make you. We fucking pay your bills.
We feed
do it all.
California feeds most of the world.
Yeah.
Not even just the U.S., but most of the world. Most of the garlic in the world comes from California. Most of the almonds. Most of your nuts that you eat come from California. I've seen those farms. They're massive. They're amazing.
I was just thinking.
I know people who work at or own one of those farms, and they're amazing, and they do incredible things, and they want to feed people. But we hurt them by taking away USAID. And then we hurt them by starting a war where 30% of the world's fertilizer comes from.
Dude, it's so bad.
If you don't think the beef industry is about to get slammed, you're living under a fucking rock.
Following the soy thing too, China, what they just did.
The corn industry is about to get rocked because corn is so fertilizer heavy. And then they're going to shift to soy, but there's no market for soybeans because soy is cheaper and less fertilizer heavy and is easier to grow. But there's no market because we just gave Argentina $40 billion to revitalize their soybean market to sell to China.
Yeah, dude, it's good.
So like, and then all of these other things compile on top of each other. We are a nation built on racist philosophies and racist ideals, and we need to confront that, because I refuse to let my children believe that this nation is perfect. Because the lesson that teaches them is that you don't suffer consequences for your actions if you're the biggest bully in the room.
Yeah.
And I don't like bullies, because I've been bullied since I was a fucking kid. I was bullied by adults because I played the same fucking position as my friend did in soccer, and his dad bullied me and bullied other coaches and ruined it for me. Because his dad was an asshole, not him. He and I were friends, good friends, but it ruined our fucking relationship and our friendship because an adult bullied me. And then I got bullied at work for years. Like, I don't fucking like bullies. I don't tolerate them. I don't respond well to them. Like, they tried to bully me in the army. They bullied me and my wife out of the army by trying to pit our careers against each other. So you know what my wife and I did? We fucking left. They wanted one of us to stay, but not the other. Because having two spouses in a military family is actually really tough for the military, because then they don't get to send both of you to war at the same time, especially if you have a kid. And they always choose to keep the woman home, which is sexist as fuck, because there's some really good fathers out there who deserve the chance to be able to be the caretaker for their children while their wife is doing amazing things, because their wife is maybe better or smarter or just good at their job. And being a good husband requires that you protect and defend and provide. And part of defending and providing and protecting is caring for your young, especially when your spouse is good at their job and they are doing a job that they care about and want to do, and you don't get in their way. The military doesn't see it that way. They see men go first, women caretake. That's it. Because again, the military, let's talk about racism here for a second, going on our let's expose racism tangent here, is the military has a history of recruiting racist people. We changed the names of bases around the nation during World War I and World War II because we needed racist Confederates to join the cause. And they wouldn't unless we did something for them. We conceded to the Confederates again because we always concede to the right in this country. This country is built on a lie of middle that is just concessions to the right. If we were in any other European nation, because we want to call ourselves Europeans, originally white people, Caucasus people from the Caucasus Mountains, which not all of us are from. Only a very select few of people are from the Caucasus Mountain area. So the rest of you are just pretenders and fake and calling yourself Caucasian.
Bunch of posers.
Posers. Loser.
I'm a loser. He's a loser. I'm not.
Tiny.
It's like the dwarves from the Hobbit.
I'm gonna end the war right now. It's over. It's over. It's done. Actually, I know they just bombed him, but I'm gonna call him. I'll get my phone out.
God.
Hey, stop it.
This is triggering. Hey, did you send Natasha her link yet? She's back there. Send her a link.
Natasha, I sent it to you in Substack. If you
all right, I will. I gotta go walk some dogs. They've been super patient. Fill these shoes very well.
Shane, I was gonna tell you, you need to do like a workout video in the morning where you just rant and like lift weights and just like get it off your chest. It's like join Shane's morning workout.
I fucking hate it. Come on, everybody, do it with me.
Get pumped with Shane. Yeah,
I mean, we could.
I'll run it. I need. What's your? We'll try it. I'll let you guys know. I'm too tired. I don't know if I can do that.
That's a lot of effort. You got to start.
You
There'll be
build the
short
ring.
sessions first.
Yeah,
You'll do like 5-minute workouts, and then they're 10, and then they're
Yeah,
like
build up
a
to
year
it.
later. You're
We
doing
can all
like
get
2
into
hours
shape
of
with
just like
Shane.
"Ugh,
Get
I
in shape with
hate-"
Shane. There it is. Yeah.
wall sits, okay? Right.
Oh God. Yeah. He's doing that. Use that sword on something. Yeah. Start shot. No, don't. You're break through the drywall. There we go.
I think his spouse would. I think his partner would kill him.
It's like chopping stuff
Smash
off.
the drywall with the
Chopping
sword, just a
wood.
huge slash mark through.
Oh man.
She's standing on
punching
the other
holes in the
side and
wall
just
behind
Shane
that
just,
shield.
like,
You should come through the
stabs it.
wall. You should come through the wall to start. Get in shape with Shane. Yeah.
Yeah.
He just blasts through. Ah, what's up,
Oh,
brother?
that's great. Thank you for the dopamine. That was a good laugh. That'll get me going.
Like
All
the
right, go
Kool-Aid
do
man.
it. Go walk
All
that
right,
dog.
guys.
All right, go walk the
thank you,
dogs. Go
guys.
have a good morning, dude.
And I'll be putting out some stuff
Choose
later
life,
today. So
real life. Yeah.
talk to you guys later. Thanks for
All
having
right.
me on, guys. It was
Later,
good.
Shane. Thanks, brother.
We got him going.
Good. I like getting people going.
Yeah.
Let's shift gears and get ourselves calmed down for a second.
I like that. You get excited. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get some artwork out here. Let's do our celebration moments
Okay.
before we get into our actual notes this week. Ooh, and we've got Natasha. Perfect timing.
Awesome.
Awesome. This is going to be a great post show.
Yay!
Natasha, what's up?
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
There
Can
we
you hear me
go.
okay?
Yeah. We hear
Yeah.
you.
Yes. Okay.
It's good to have you, Natasha. How are you?
Yeah. Good to see you.
I like you
Good.
guys were talking about Pepe Le Pew in the chat. That was cracking me up.
Yeah. I mean, he was like a fucking rapist.
He
basically.
was.
Like we okayed that.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
like when you think about it, I don't recall. Like I need to watch a full episode. but
Oh,
all
you're right. I
remember
saw
is
it
him
recently. Yeah.
all over that cat, and he would not fucking leave her alone. And we were just watching him harass her as children, and we're just like, ha ha, ha, it's so funny. But now you think about it, it's like that's really fucking rapey.
Yeah,
I
it
kind of
is.
want to watch an episode with my son because he will be like, what the hell? Like, why is this okay? Like, yeah, this is just what we used to watch back in the day. Oh my
I was
gosh.
watching Rudolph with my wife, and she's like, "What the fuck is this?" She was like, "You got to turn this off." She'd never seen it.
The
She's like,
claymation?
yeah, the weird one. With
Best one in
That
the
one's
world.
pretty.
That's
That
my
one's pretty
favorite.
sexist.
Is it?
Well,
Yeah,
I
there's
was watching it through my wife's eyes because she hadn't seen it. She was watching. She's like, okay, so they instantly kick him out of the whole tribe because he looks a little bit different. He's like, that's fucked up,
Yes,
you know.
I
And
did
it's- and
remember
the
that.
sexism. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't watched it all the way through in a while, but I do remember pointing that part out, like to my son probably last Christmas when it was on. Like, that's pretty messed up. Like, just because he's different, that's kind of like how Black people are treated,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Like, just pointing
I mean,
everything.
the Animaniacs had some really racy
Did they?
episodes. Oh man,
I remember
Warner
that.
Brothers. So one of the things I do appreciate about Warner Brothers and why I still watch their stuff is because they came out at one point. I think during the Me Too original, like when everything came out and we were actually confronting things and we were starting to move forward. They were like, they put out a big blurb that was like, we're not going to take down our old content. We know it's racist. We are keeping it so that you can see what used to be visible and what's now no longer accepted. And I was like, oh, that's good. Like they put before some of their shows like the Animaniacs, because the Animaniacs did some, there was some racism there. Like, wow.
Racism.
Wow. Oh yeah, they depicted Black people in really bad ways at times.
Did you see the one where Donald Duck joins the Nazis? It's called The Führer's Face. Go look that up. He is straight up in with the Nazis in that.
What is it? A Disney short?
It's a short. Yeah.
Is it from what, like the 60s or something?
It's from like 1937. It's pretty weird. And a lot of those there's a lot of old weird Disney ones where like
he watches
axe murder. Yeah, there's a lot of axe murder in those old Disney movies or those old Disney shorts.
Yeah.
I mean,
would say it's very dark. Like there's a lot of dark things. Like he was into like a thing where, you know, he's autistic, so he always, you know, he goes into these things where he like researches things and he knows everything about everything. Like if you name a Disney movie, he'll be able to tell you what year it was made. It doesn't matter if it was The Sword in the Stone or Moana,
Song of the
like
South.
like he's just got that memory. And it's so funny because we talk about that all the time, but like just pointing all of that shit out right now is so, it's like enlightening.
Has he heard of Song of the South, or have they effectively erased that? Because that one's blatantly racist
What is
too.
that?
Oh, you've never heard of that even? Yeah, that's like the Disney movie that Disney has just tried to erase from existence.
Is it a
That's where
cartoon?
Zippity Doo Dah. The song
I mean-
Zippity Doo Dah. Have you heard that?
Song of the South. No, I haven't. I
Wait,
think
is
I've
that
heard
where
about that.
you mean zippity doo dah, zippity day?
Zippity,
That's where
yeah.
that comes from?
That comes from Song of the South, but it's like
I feel
so
like I know
openly
that.
racist. With I'm
I
not
used
even
to
going to
sing
say
that all
what
the
they.
time as a child. I never knew what it
Brer
came
Fox.
from. Oh
and
my
Brer,
god! I must have
Brer
seen
Rabbit.
it.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
man.
I
I'm
will
old
have
enough.
to watch this. Wow.
You won't be able to
I'm
find it.
gonna bring
I'm
back
old
my-
enough to remember having seen the film, but Disney has erased it for being so racist.
I
So
know I've
that was
watched-
actually really interesting that you guys had never heard of it. I
I
didn't
know
realize
I've
that.
watched this though. If that's where the song came from, it used to always be in my head when I was a child, and but I don't remember what it was
Uncle
from. But
Remus.
I'm sure
Yeah.
it was this because I used to I was put on to everything like old school. So I will have to look. I'm
Yeah,
sure we can
like
find it somewhere.
Splash
Right?
Mountain. They just changed Splash Mountain at Disney because of that, because it was based on Song of the South, and they're trying to pretend that
Oh.
never happened.
well, at least they're getting rid of it so that it's no longer there.
I'd like an
so that-
Are
apology,
they
though.
acknowledging
you
it?
know?
Though?
Yeah.
Are they saying
yeah, I
why?
mean, I'd like an acknowledgement and like understanding of
I see what
why
you're
they're
saying,
doing
Nick.
it.
That was a
Like,
fair comment.
but it is good that they are getting rid of it. Like, I'm okay with them taking Splash Mountain away and replacing it with something better that people actually like that isn't racist garbage. Like, I'm glad there's not a lot of Dumbo things out there because Dumbo's pretty fucking racist. Like, the crows
gosh.
in Dumbo were so stereotypically anti-black, like so fucking racist.
Yeah.
And we grew up with all of this as like ideas of these are images. Like when I watch these movies, my parents were like, these are things that happened in the past and we have to acknowledge them. And these are things that people used to do and say and talk about and how they depicted
Yeah.
people. And it's not okay. And I don't think enough people got that lesson.
Oh,
It's
God.
like, I believe many of the people in MAGA are really folks that never watched Land Before Time and didn't experience the heartbreak of watching Longneck's mother die. And
Her Bambi's
because
mother.
Bambi, like they didn't get to experience that loss early in life and
Yeah.
how to
I
confront
threw
it.
that tape out though. I was going through the Disney tapes and I'm just like, my kids don't have to watch this.
Yes,
not
they do.
watching Bambi.
It's so important. It's so powerful.
I don't think it
I feel like
is. I
it's a
don't think.
good
Yeah, I
And
don't
it's
think
such a
so.
good movie, though.
I went through it in my mind. I'm like, this is just trauma. Like, oh, let's talk about your mom dying. Fuck that. These are kids. We're gonna watch Peter Pan. Well, Peter Pan.
Peter Pan's pretty fucked up.
So
Peter Pan
racist,
ain't
too.
better. Peter
Yeah,
Pan
those
is not
stories
At least
better.
the mom
are
doesn't die.
appropriate now, you know,
Uh,
looking back. The boy
Or-
who cried wolf.
Oh, the boy who cried wolf.
But I
No.
do understand, like, some of the tales that they take are traditional tales, like Cinderella itself. That's a traditional tale from certain areas in Europe. They adapted it. There's some pretty bad shit in there. I'm not going to say they did a good job on everything, but they do at least keep some of the stories somewhat correct. Or they had been. Now they don't really. I don't really care. I don't really pay attention to Disney much anymore because I've dropped everything Disney in my life at this point, unless it's a toy that I already own or it's a Star Wars thing, because Star Wars is not exclusively, it is now, but it's
Yeah.
not. I still have my fandom, and because Star Wars is very anti
Fascism.
this type of
right?
hate, like
Yeah.
yeah, Star Wars is all about confronting authoritarianism and the rebellion, fighting back to give people hope and joy and freedom and autonomy. And Luke would be considered a terrorist for us. Like if it was the United States of the Dark Empire, it would be Emperor Palpatine and or Donald
Oh,
Trump
God,
would be
yeah.
putting out notifications through his Darth Vader, let's say Pete Hegseth or
Oh
somebody
God,
like
it can't
that.
be him. Yeah, it's got to be somebody.
Well, he was a weekend
Probably
news anchor, so it could be Pete
smarter.
Hegseth.
I feel
But
like
like,
Darth Vader's at least more intelligent, though.
Yeah.
so like a Stephen Miller, like he
Mm,
could be like
Oh God, it can't be him.
he's an evil guy choking
He's
people
like
out.
that guy who laughs on Jabba the Hutt. That's who Stephen Miller is.
He's
He's
the
that
little worm guy.
Yeah.
Oh, that is cute.
It's,
Is that one of
RFK's.
those bead
It's
things?
no, it is. I made it over the weekend. It's RFK's brainworm.
I love
So
that.
he has escaped, and he has all of the mercury from
That is
RFK's
so-
brain has consolidated into this brainworm.
I love it.
I think
love
Darth
it.
Vader's
So-
Gavin Newsom. I think that's who Darth Vader is.
Mm.
God, yeah, like
He reminds me of. Have you guys seen Watchmen the movie?
Oh yeah.
yes,
Ozymandias. How do you say his name? You know, the guy that Matthew
Ozymandias.
Wood played. Yeah, that's who Gavin Newsom reminds me of, like that villain.
Yeah.
And he looks
Look
like him
upon my
too.
works in
Back
despair.
hair.
Have you? That's that poem. It's by Keats, I think. They find the statue in the desert. He says, "Look upon my works in despair," and there's nothing behind him. So yeah, that fits in very well with.
I love your thoughts on Gavin, Natasha, because I know you've got thoughts on some of the things around the Democratic Party, and that's something we like to talk about and help break ourselves away from. Love your thoughts on some of what's going on. I saw some news this morning coming out of California, and I don't know if you saw it either. The mayor's race apparently is getting pretty or not the mayor, the governor's race apparently is getting very interesting, and they had to cancel a debate that was scheduled, I think, for tonight or tomorrow, because the only people they invited were the white candidates, and they excluded every other candidate from the debate, even those who were polling higher than the other white candidates. And they had to cancel it because they didn't invite anyone of color. The Democratic Party
This was
I
the
think
DNC.
I think it was like the California Democratic Party, like for the state, like
Cal Dems, maybe.
didn't invite
Oh, Shelley.
any of the fucking people who were a minority group. I was like, this is fucked up.
I mean, this is just the same thing that I've been talking about and just having to relive it. Like I was just telling Walter earlier, like just having to relive it over and over and over and over. Like not only did I experience it and literally like this exact thing I experienced being suppressed and oppressed. So having to see this shit continue, and I've been speaking out about it, and people are still holding this man in some kind of pedestal like he's our savior. And you know, it's like, again, the racism is the point, and that's what I keep trying to let people know, is that inherently as an establishment the DNC is racist. They have racist people who are putting things into their ears. When you have James Carville as a consultant, when you have people like that breathing life or energy or anything into your ear and you're taking that into consideration, that's either keeping the status quo or that's setting us back. And so for me, this is like the same thing that I experienced on the campaign, and not just me, but like almost all of us, is the same thing that continues to happen over and over and over and over and over. And we just keep ignoring it. And like Ken Martin, mentioned that he was initially, Ken Martin is the DNC chair, for those who don't know. And he, as soon as he became the DNC chair, he said he was going to call for an autopsy. And then a year later, he said he wasn't going to. He said he's not interested in going back, because that's not, and that's again, that's the problem here, is we're not getting to the root of things. We're ignoring the problem, sweeping it under the rug, and expecting people to just be okay with that. And that's the issue that I have with Blue MAGA. People that are expecting us to just keep getting fucking slapped and slapped and slapped and pushed to the back and told to just fucking take it for the sake of the party? No.
Yeah.
And this is just a repeat of everything we keep seeing. We saw it in the Jasmine Tallarico race. We see it here. We saw it on the whole Kamala Harris Walls, Biden Harris campaign. The switch, it just got really dark, and nobody will acknowledge that. And the more they refuse to do that, the more we get enraged and want to do something about it. So I guess, I think this had to happen. Like, people just need to see them for who they are and know that as a whole, they are not for us. There are people that are in there that are stuck. Like, the party's not serving them either. The party doesn't serve people like Elizabeth Warren or AOC or Jasmine Crockett or people who want to get shit done. The party serves Chuck Schumer and fucking Hakeem Jeffries and the people that are going to try to be there until 2050. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that just is not going to work. Like, for humanity, we have to progress and we have to move forward, and we can't call ourselves progressive and all of that when we're trying to maintain the status quo or just push us further to the right. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're a country that's been lied to in the idea that we have a political left. The U.S. is pretty much a conservative
everything's right.
nation. We're the
Yes.
middle. And if we were in any other if we were in a European nation that we claim to be historically from, is we are so far right.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even recognize our left as anything other than center moderates. Like Bernie
Right.
Sanders want moderate center policies that every other nation has.
There are right-wing candidates who would never suggest not having universal health care. That's how extreme. And we
they never suggest that in
they would.
Other
that
nations.
would be the end of their political career if they
That's
suggested
socialism.
that. So they are to the left of our most left-leaning candidates, and that's their extreme right. That's pretty staggering.
Yeah, like, we need to shift the whole baseline in this fucking nation over.
Overton window needs to be to the left.
Overton window
Bring
needs
them
to
to
be
our
dragged.
side. Like, stop allowing them. Yeah, stop allowing them to keep pushing it to the right. We have to start doing the work. We have to start doing the work, because that's not the way that things should be. Like, objectively, argue with me all you want. I believe in humanity, and the things that they are doing are hurting humanity. It's killing people. It's depopulating. It's genociding. And that is not what humans with souls and hearts and empathy want. And that's the majority of us. We have to move it to the left. Like, we have to force them. Stop letting them say we need to go to the are you fucking kidding me? We are living in like the 1930s. What are you talking about? It's like, wake the fuck up, because it's coming for them too. Whether or not they see it yet, I don't understand why and that's another thing. Like, to get in office, you should have to take some sort of like test that goes through like thorough history and make sure you have an understanding. Like, that should be a necessity, because we have to understand the past in order to do better in the future. And if these people are not competent enough to understand that, or if they refuse to do the work to learn, they shouldn't even be holding office. Like that. I could go on forever about.
Well, and that's why we can't have Gavin Newsom interviewing Steve Bannon on his fucking podcast. And then they show their hand, because they refuse to talk to us. They would never in a million years talk to us, because we're the ones who are off limits.
Right.
But they're happy to talk to Steve Bannon. And then we're not supposed to talk about that, not supposed to be critical of that. And James Carville's just as bad. And they openly talk without him. So
and Carville's getting a bigger position again in the DNC. We keep talking about how that idiot should fucking retire, and that asshole misogynist piece of crap needs to retire. He's a racist and a misogynist, and
this is who they are.
He tanked Jasmine Crockett. They like this part. So I want to ask, I don't know if you can talk about this. I don't know if you're able to say anything on this at all. And so whatever you can say or not say, that's totally fine. What happened with Governor Walz? Why did he never go on to Manosphere, like all these Manosphere talks and shows? Like, wasn't that a huge thing he was like brought on to be able to do was to talk to men? Like what actually did what happened there?
Um, that's a good question. I honestly have no insight into that, and I haven't thought about that myself. I know that Kamala was criticized heavily for only going on what, like one or two or something like that, and I know that people overall are saying, that the Democratic Party is behind when it comes to reaching out. Like they're still kind of archaic and don't. Know how to get with the times and, reach out to Gen Z and what's under Gen Z, like they just don't have they're not investing in those things. They're
Mhm.
investing in continuing the status quo. So I don't know. I honestly don't know why. Um,
Do you see a line between incompetence and deliberate malice? Because I'm sure Kamala was in the crosshairs of both. Where it's like sometimes they're just given bad information, and sometimes it's information they sincerely believe, but sometimes it is to sabotage her. So, any thoughts on that?
like in what way do you mean?
Well,
Um,
like there would some that be restricting her from going because like I've said before, they deliberately don't allow any of these candidates to come on and talk to people like me, and so there's that over because when Obama got into office, he was brilliant using Twitter, and so he was like at the forefront of all that of using social media. And now the Democrats, it's almost as if I think there's some backlash because I think they never wanted Obama to get the nomination. So I think they've restructured so a person like Obama can't win it again. But then you get the dueling because I know that I don't know what are your thoughts on Kamala. It always feels to me like she's very sincere and she was trying to just appease everybody, but there are actually contradictory messages, like the faction within the Democrats that doesn't want her in, and then the faction that maybe does want to win, but they're just so out of touch that they're giving her incompetent information. That's what I wanted to say, I guess.
um, I I again, I can't speak directly to that, but my guess would be that there's a little bit of both. Because I'll be honest, during the campaign, actually going back after Biden got elected, I took a break because I was volunteering and advocating and doing what I could during 1.0, and I was fucking exhausted, because it was this every single day, and I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait until, he got elected and I could breathe again. Like I couldn't wait for the day because I just knew I would be able to breathe and not have to wake up and worry about whether we're going to go to war or something. And so then once I got the role in the campaign, that kind of threw me back into politics. And so I didn't pay close attention to what had been happening over that time, to be honest. And I didn't really understand or really educate myself on the war in Israel and Gaza and the genocide that was occurring. So I did have people mention to me something about that, like during the campaign, and remembering, like, I was just thinking, I was like, I don't really know enough about it to say anything because but I didn't bother to look into it either. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
in the campaign, I was in a bubble and I didn't really know what was happening on the outside. So it's weird in that way. Like, even though I wasn't on the Hill or anything, you do get to a point where you're in like a bubble. And
Yeah.
even though like I thought working on the campaign, I would know everything that was occurring, and that's like the complete opposite. But um, based on my experiences and how I really watch people and watch the way that they move. And I think that some of it was sabotage because they didn't want her to be the nominee. And you hear consultants now in interviews say things like, oh, if Biden had stepped down, he should have stepped down because we could have had, another candidate. We could have had somebody else besides Kamala. And it's like, that's really fucking gross to me, that you can tell these people were not behind her to begin with. So, and I have her book, but I haven't read it yet. But based on some of the excerpts that I read, it looks kind of like she was kind of in the same position where she wasn't allowed maybe to fully be herself. And I also think, though, that not denouncing the genocide is completely wrong. She absolutely should have done that. But I also think that I feel like we could have pushed her. And I don't know that we could have, but I feel like there are certain people that you are able to push because they have a heart. They have something in them that they will listen, I don't know her personally. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to meet her the one day that she did come to HQ. I think I had to leave early to get my son or something. So I missed her, which was really annoying. But I feel like certain people can be pushed to do the right thing. And I kind of feel like that's like what we see the DNC doing is suppressing and oppressing the leaders and the ones who want to do the work and who are, waking people up. Like those are the ones that they suppress because they don't want the change. They want to keep the status quo. And again, I don't know exactly what was going through her head, but that's what I see is that some of that. But I also think that there definitely was incompetence as well, for sure. But
I read her book. I think one of the things that's interesting about the book and it emphasizes what we overlook is she was the vice president, and the Democrats never, because the vice president has a very specific role. And she says in the book, the first thing that they tell the president is watch out for the vice president. Like you have to be that support role, but it can't ever be about you. So she was very much put in that the glass cliff they call it, because she has to defend policies that weren't her policies. And she was getting blamed for all these Biden policies where she's not allowed to separate from them because it would have been easier if Biden had just stepped down and named her the president. I mean, that would have greatly improved her chances of winning that election. But that's another thing that I think, like, as you say, the deliberate sabotage, they didn't want to do that. All these things that could have exponentially improved their chances of winning, and they just deliberately didn't do. So when you read the book, I'll be curious to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah. And from what I hear too, is that Biden was part of that decision. I mean, that's why is because he didn't want to step down,
Yeah. He's got his consultants though, too. And they're, like you said, that bubble, and it's just hard to break out. And I mean, and don't be too hard on yourself either. Like what you were saying, because I've done the same thing where 4 years ago, my perspective radically changed. It's radically changing as more things become available to us. And there's been times I've been so focused on a task. I'm like, I don't even have time to look into that right now. Then when you finally get time, you're like, shit.
Yeah. I'm like, I understand now.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
Live and learn. We get better. We're getting more powerful.
Yeah.
And the thing that the one thing that I wish, yeah. Oh, please go ahead.
I said a lot of things, bad, but I also do want to say that we're so many competent, intelligent, smart, kind, like just amazing people that are going to do and are doing amazing things on that campaign. And I've met some of the kindest people I worked with, even though some of the people that I worked with were not for me. I did have a team of people behind me that like stuck with me and had my back, and we all had each other's back. And just it was a life lesson in knowing who to trust and just kind of like seeing things for what they were, especially, me, like I had social anxiety, and this was like my first role in person in years because I stayed at home and I was a stay-at-home wife for like 10 years. I worked a little bit, but most of the time it was from home. So it was just kind of like going out into the world again for the first time, being thrown into it and going straight to a fucking presidential campaign, which I just couldn't, I was just like, it was the greatest honor to me. So I just want to say, like, don't, it wasn't all negative. There are amazing people there, but there are also people that are there just like we see now. There's the good and the bad, and the ones who are trying to do the right thing get pushed to the back or told to sit down or fired or whatever, whatever it is,
Yeah.
wasn't Summer Lee or um, somebody, because she denounced APAC. I can't remember who it was. But yeah, that's the thing. So that's all. I just wanted to also give my team and the amazing people that were there their props, because I mean, also she only had 107 days. So the standard that Black women, Black and Asian, and women of color are held to is insane. And we continue to see that every day. Like we just saw with Gavin Newsom and whoever those Democrats were.
It's always been clear to me that how much you care about this, and your comments are always like, let's move forward and let's get these wins, and I always take them that way. So there's constructive criticism, and sometimes people need to hear things that are a little bit hard to say, but I always find your comments respectful and with compassion. So thank you, Natasha.
Thank you.
Well, now so you can grow. We have to give ourselves the ability to grow, and for those of us who are coming into this space to want to grow and willing to grow and learn about it, these are necessary. We need to hear what the fuck is happening. Like, again, we cannot hide from the truth of what is happening, because then we just put our heads in the sand and we pretend that nothing is going wrong, and then things get exponentially worse. Every time we hide our heads in the sand, they get exponentially worse. And so we can't do that. We just have to talk about it. Like, it's okay to talk about the fact that we fucked over Kamala Harris as a democratic institution, I think. And I'd love your maybe your thoughts on this, Natasha. And I've heard it in the chat too, is a lot of people feel betrayed by Biden when he said he would be a candidate of transition and a president of transition to the next generation, and then he ran again. And I'd love to hear maybe your thoughts on what you know about all of that surrounding that, because you've been in this sphere, but all like how you responded to that. Like, what is it like? To me, it feels like he lied. It feels like he put Kamala in a position where she was never really public facing. She was always on like the short end of the stick for assignments and duties that the president just didn't want to do. And he was like, here, you do this instead. And it was just expected she would figure it out, because, we expect women to be able to figure everything out on their own without any support. And you just said too, like, the first thing presidents get told is beware of your vice president. But he chose her for a reason. And then that reason felt like it disappeared. And I just want to get your thoughts around that. There's no real specific question that I have, but maybe like your thoughts on that experience, and how maybe what is that? To me, it's a betrayal, but what does that feel to you? And what you were going to consider doing or have done moving forward to like ensure that we actually get the things we want and not just false promises.
I mean, I'm just trying to do what I can here, I guess, and whatever I'm physically capable of doing on the outside. But I can't. I don't know Joe Biden, so I can't say the vibe that I've always got. And this is just me. Like, again, I don't know the man. Unfortunately, I never got. I hope I would like to still. Because he didn't do as much as he could have. I think that's evident. And again, didn't pay close attention to a lot of his presidency because, I was kind of relaxing, but also like, as the 4 years came to an end, I started getting a little more nervous again. Like, okay, well, what's going to happen now?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that he definitely could have done more, and he should have done more. I think he did a lot of good things, but to know that, because I'm still learning things, and to see that it appears he supports Israel. Nick, are you talking?
No, there might be
Oh,
background noise.
oh,
Sorry.
okay. Sorry, I was. Oh, you know what? I'm looking at the wrong. Okay. Yeah. So just to know that he didn't denounce that, and that he's for that, it's hard for me to believe, because I'm just now learning again about Israel and Zionism and anti-Semitism, and like now seeing the clear difference, because I do believe that what Israel as a whole is doing is horrible, and they are committing a genocide. But I do see the difference in demonizing Jewish people and the nasty things that people say, about Jews, and the
Yeah.
tropes we hear about money and things like that. I see the difference now, but I think that the fact that they're trying to like deem everybody who speaks out against genocide and all of that is wrong. And I think it's unfortunate that he supported that, but I don't know who he is as a person, so I don't know his motives behind it. I don't know if he was just like a selfish person, or if he just decided that, I just feel like, and from what I hear is like, he felt like he could do better, I guess, than she would. And I don't know if like, to me, I don't know. I don't know. So I don't know. This is just my perception. I
Yeah.
just feel like maybe it wasn't malicious, but the things that he did um, did cause negative effects. And I don't know if he talks about that. I don't know if he admits that. From what I've heard, like he, hasn't spoken about it. And I think, again, that's something that like people kind of deserve answers if they feel like they've been duped, about something, be the bigger person and say that. But at the same time, I do respect him as a president. I can't tell you why. I just do. I just feel like at the heart, there's something good in there. And I do respect him, and I do think that he did make amazing advancements despite a lot of the things that he did not do. And he should have been better and could have been better. But
Yeah.
when you see those videos of him like walking into an ice cream shop here at the beach or whatever, and everybody's quiet, and they're just like, oh my God, like it's Joe Biden.
Yeah.
As opposed to like Donald Trump, like, it's
Yeah.
just the juxtaposition is like crazy to see that, he's just, he's been in it for years, and he's, yeah, that's my thought. But
Yeah.
I don't know him as a person, but I
Yeah.
respect him as a person, I guess.
Yeah. And I want to make sure too, as like
Based on what
after
I'm-
that was a really good way of saying much better way of saying what I had said. I respect Joe Biden, President Biden. I respect the things that he did, the advancements. He was one of the most progressive presidents we have had since FDR. Like since the New Deal and the attempt at the second Bill of Rights, like Biden is one of the most progressive presidents we've had. And he was part of the era of quiet progressivism, which is its own power. But we're also not in the era of quiet anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't think And I don't think this was something that Biden did. I don't think this was something Kamala did. I think this is something that the Democratic institution didn't catch up on in any way, was they didn't utilize the youth that Kamala has and her ability. She captured audiences. She captured attention. She walked into a room and you notice her. Like from what I've seen, from what I've heard, from like the videos, like she walks into a room and you notice her because she has a power about her. There is this confidence, and she could have been, and this is retroactive, again, not criticizing Biden, not criticizing Kamala on this one, criticizing the Democratic institutions. They did not take the opportunity to have the fighter that she was go out there and fight the narrative and create the real narrative of what's going on, because she was a lawyer. She knows how to win a case. She knew how to win an argument. She could have won the narrative. She did it every time she walked on fucking stage with Donald Trump. She made him look tiny. She made his tiny hands look even tinier. And they made him look like a little tiny baby, little baby hands, little just fuck you. She came over and power moved the fuck out of him during the debate. She walked over and was like, shake my hand. I'm the vice president. I know what I'm doing. Had we seen her like that for 4 fucking years, it would have been so amazing. We would have looked and we would have been like, look at this incredibly powerful person who's going to command the next presidency. And we hit our fucking vice president against the president. They're supposed to be a team. They're supposed to be a team that works together, that advances policy that we want.
Yeah.
And she had the it. She had the it. There are people who have the it in politics, and she had it. And I don't think she's lost it. I think she's been corrupted by the system around her, who is intentionally corrupting her. Not her. She is not corrupted, I don't believe. But I believe the system is trying to corrupt her and the things around her to make her look not as good as she actually is. Because God forbid we have, one, a woman, but two, a black woman take control and have power, because, man, that would be a change.
What I want to add,
just the change there would be incredible. Like we've had enough white men doing this job. We've done it for 250 years. The only equality is if women have leadership for the next 250 years.
Yeah. And I just want to add, I think she won. I think I want every time we have these discussions about what could have been different, I think the Republicans cheated because that candidate cheated in 2016 and he was convicted of cheating in 2016. That's a 34-time convicted felon. He was indicted for cheating in 2020. And so when, the Democrats come out and their answer is always, well, I guess America wasn't ready for a black woman. And we're just supposed to listen to that and not have actually, wait a second, I want to look at some receipts. Because I think she won. And I think you assholes didn't stand up and count the votes. And I think that extreme right-wing groups own all the vote tabulation machines in the United States, and that you've allowed it since 2000 when they stole that election, when Bush won, and they saw that Democrats just lay down. And at some point, let's start defending vote integrity and making that part of our democratic movement. And even though it is important to have these discussions, what things could she have done better? What things could Biden have done better? What things could the establishment have done better? We should be having those discussions, but also they fucking won, and Republicans are fucking cheaters, and they're a bunch of evil white supremacists who just want to kill everybody in the world. So let's recognize that too.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. We didn't get to our notes again, which is totally fine. This is fun. We always have fun conversations. These are more fun than and amazing to be able to have. But I do want to get to our
music
art.
again.
I do want to get to our artwork for today so that we end on an art note. I know Natasha's not going to have any artwork with us right now, but we do have a fan submission, and I'm hoping Neurodivergent Hodgepodge, I hope you're here right now with us for this one. I've seen your name pop up. So Neuro, if you're here, I hope you are. I'm going to showcase the piece of art you did last week, the amazing rainbow and
Tasha
bubbles. I I thought it was
No, I
beautiful.
couldn't figure out how to cancel it. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, Natasha. And so let's show off some art real quick. We've got
Ooh,
a piece
Jason's got
from.
some. Yeah, submit it, Jason.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Please submit
Oh, it's a picture
artwork,
saved.
Jason.
Oh,
yeah.
Jason, I don't know if you were here last week, but I showcased your the drawing you did of me.
Jason's doing great work. Yeah.
And I love the artwork you're doing. So thanks. I appreciate
Let's
it.
do Neuros though.
Yeah, let's start with Neuros
Beautiful.
because I thought this was beautiful, and I just wanted to show it off. Because Neuro, you're amazing. This is absolutely fantastic.
what is this made of? Can you do you know?
Neuro, can you type in the chat a little bit about what you did for the design, and I can talk about it, because it looks like, to me, it looks like you drew bubbles and that they're not actual bubbles on the page. But I would love to know, like, what type of brush did you use for, like, how did you create this rainbow snake? Because it's really cool.
Like, I also am blind, but also wait, maybe I can make this bigger.
It's like construction paper, and then is it?
Yeah, it's on.
Like
let me
It
maximize.
looks kind of like chalk, but it also looks like it could be embroidered. And then,
Well, that white chalk, yeah, you can get a nice fine. Yeah, that's definitely chalk on like the construction paper. That's beautiful. Oh, here it goes.
Pencils on pastel paper.
Oh, beautiful.
Beautiful. Oh wow.
So it's like a pastel type pencil, maybe.
I think the paper it's probably a special like weight of paper and like
pastel paper. Prismacolor Premier. Prisma is a brand of colored pencils and markers.
There's so many cool things out there.
Yeah,
I just love. I've got these watercolor pencils that are just I love them, and it's just all these neat things you can use.
Stronger than construction paper. That's you know what, I bought colored pencils in a coloring book, a Christmas coloring book, and I never did anything with it. So maybe
it's relaxing. Oh
yeah, that's so pretty.
It's so pretty, and it reminds me that I have a drawing that's on my laptop that I need to finish drawing. And so this reminds me I need to do that and take some time to sit down and draw.
Yeah.
And just, gosh, Neuro,
the next time you're doom scrolling, draw instead. You will feel so much better. Oh my God.
Oh yeah. So like, Neuro, thank you so much for sending me this and showing it to me and posting it too. I know I reposted it. Then I just said, this is beautiful. That's all. And like, like that's it. It's beautiful. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, it's beautiful, and I bet it is more vibrant in person. I wish I could see like all of the vibrancy of it and all of the colors.
Then frame it on like a white frame, so you have like the white background with that'd be pretty.
What? Somebody's got an assignment. This is
somebody's at the door.
Accept it. Yeah.
Oh, you're fine, dude. Go hang out. I have it's spring break, and so I've got at least my two plus one more. And so Uncle Nick is back in.
Why am I blurry?
Yeah,
I don't know. You got your phone call and then it made you go blurry.
Your video stopped. Yeah. Sometimes you could tell. Oh, are you still there? Okay.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just fooling with it.
And so
that's okay. You're like a talking circle now.
We'll move to the next one. This one is a submission from my daughter. It's from a game that she's been playing. I think it's like Cookie something dungeon, like Cookie Cake Dungeon or something. It's a kid's game on her iPad that she likes to play, but she likes a lot of what it is building like characters and like designing. You can design your own characters and things like that. And so she likes to draw them when she's done. And so this is like a Cookie Prince or something that she drew. And I thought it was really fun.
I love it.
I love it. I love that. I love the nose jewelry.
Yeah.
I love all the jewelry.
Mhm. Me too. I mean, I was watching her draw it, and I was like, "Oh, there's jewelry." I saw her doing the chain first, and I was like, "What is this going to be?"
Oh, really? It
And
started with the chain and the whole.
yeah, it
head
started
came
with
in?
the chain. She
That's
had like a she does the whole process where she'll draw out the base face, and then she'll put in a perspective line across the face for the eyes and a center line for where the nose goes. And then she started doing the chain. And she's also really good at doing hair. Like she started getting a lot better at doing the anime style hair so far. And I saw somebody in the chat saying from Zupal saying she does hair better than I could. And I remember drawing like anime creatures and stuff when I was younger. We used to do Dragon Ball Z characters, but we would trace them on like that, like semi-clear traceable paper, and then draw and make them cooler and add on stuff. Whereas my daughter's just sitting here freehand, just the hair on this long. Like I'll show another one she's doing. She's got a girl where you can tell that there's hair really long, and then she's got a cloak, but you can see some hair coming out from the side, and she's actually got it in the right spots, and it's really cool.
Nice.
So yeah,
Aw,
I love my daughter's work.
It
Yeah.
is.
and she's got the red ombre.
Yeah, and she's good. She's taught herself everything. I'm not that great of an artist. I mean, I can draw decently well, but I haven't taught her. She's self-taught in all she's doing, and she keeps getting better on each one. And I can see when she gets frustrated when she makes a mistake on some of them, and she crumples things up and throws them away. I'm like, no,
I know.
I want that one because the mistakes are so fun too, and I want to see them. But I'm glad I finally convinced her to start keeping all of her stuff.
Good.
Hopefully, more of it anyway.
Treasure chest.
Yeah, I want a treasure chest to hand to her when she's older and be like,
Oh.
we've literally kept all of this.
Yeah.
Take a look back on the years when you were younger and where you are now, and the care and love you have for it. And so we're promoting it. And then next, thinking about fathers loving their daughters' works, Walter.
Yeah, this was right after we saw Wicked. My daughter came home and sketched out the characters from Wicked, and it was appropriate. We were talking about the Harris campaign because if you watch the first Wicked movie came out, and it was just lined up like the brilliant Elphaba is the brilliant singer and loses out as the guy who's running his campaign. That's just lies, and then the last scene she's just like. She breaks free and she's just the singing is so good. I was sitting in the theater, just huge tears coming out of my eyes as I was watching. It was just what I needed. I was so emotional, like just how unfair this was. And I can't even remember what that last song in Wicked is, but it fit the moment so well. Like just I'm not backing down. I'm gonna fight like hell because this injustice isn't appropriate. So then, yeah, my daughters came home and my eldest sketched out the characters from the film, and I don't know, it just makes me happy.
It's beautiful.
If you watch the original Wicked, yeah, it's emotional.
Beautiful. I took my son to see it on Broadway a month and a half ago. Yeah, he got a sudden obsession with it, so we had to Wizard of Oz, Wicked, everything. So yeah, but I came to like it because of him, and now I'm like, okay, now I understand. I never understood why like Wicked had all these fans. I just didn't get it, but then I realized through him how popular the Broadway show was when it first started, and like now, now I see why everybody loves that it turned into a movie. Okay, like now I get this. So
literature like
fun.
that.
So I just literally started watching Wicked like 2 months ago, like the second one first, and then the first one after, I think.
Well, she's just so talented. And yeah, and sometimes literature's like that. It hits you at the time when you need it, and it's just like I was just in the mood for it. And especially the first one, when it's just like the evil charlatan who's just telling lies about the much more qualified and brilliant and talented character. And it's just like that. It just hit in reality so much. So yeah. Well, it's happened before. That's what literature shows us. And like
Yeah.
they say in The Catcher in the Rye, if you read enough literature, you'll see other people have faced these same challenges, and we can learn from what those people have gone through, and they've overcome them, and we're going to overcome them too.
Absolutely.
Which is why I believe that libertarians are just progressives who have not read enough books, because
Makes
it's
sense.
pretty much a lot of us have
be.
similar ideas of like freedom and individual rights and wanting to be happy and live our lives and not have other people tell us what to do. The only thing is I believe in taxes because they fucking work, and they're used for social services and systems, and we don't consolidate our wealth into individuals and expect them to give us charity, because that's fucking stupid, because nobody's going to give us all that stupid charity because that's their money and they're greedy. And that's where libertarians lose the plot.
Yeah.
Libertarians, you lose the plot when you start saying, yeah, but they'll just hand it back. It'll trickle down to us. And they'll be charitable because I'm charitable and I'll help people and I'd want to help people, so they'll help people too. No, fuckers, that's not how this works. We need to tax them. You're dumb. Read basic economics. Read a book.
Yeah.
You might learn something. And I've said that to a friend who was a libertarian, and he laughed and he was like, "Yep, that sounds about right."
Yeah.
Because libertarians are just progressives in Hawaiian shirts who haven't read books.
They
And
wear
that's
Hawaiian
confirmed.
shirts.
They were the Boogaloo Boys.
Oh God! Well, that's just
libertarian group.
That's white supremacy, Boogaloo.
Yeah, they're racist.
Yeah. But they were a libertarian group. They
It refers to the return of the Confederacy. Boogaloo does, because it goes from
5-10 years
Breakin'
ago.
to Electric Boogaloo. That was the sequel to Breakin'. So it's a sequel, and so they say Boogaloo to reference the return of the Confederacy. It's just craziest. Yeah, I don't know.
They're weird. I'm not saying libertarians have good ideas, all of them. I'm just saying most of them would learn a thing or two, because they're on the right track in some places. They just need more books. Just like start throwing books at people and being like, read this book. You need this book.
That's actually a good example, though, because all the dog whistles of white supremacy, like Boogaloo, what does that even mean? And it's like, oh, this is how that relates to white supremacy. I just sketched it out. So you can almost forgive people, though. We're like, oh, that's just a nonsense word. And it's like, no, actually, that is referring to the return of the Confederacy. Here's how. And it's just like, really? You sketch this stuff out, and people are like, people actually have gone through that thought. But you think of how absurd the KKK is, Frustrated Confederate soldiers go out into the woods and call themselves Dragon and make little stupid hats for themselves. Well, it got serious when they started murdering people, but they're a clown show. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you say?
I did. Oh, I've got dinosaurs attacking Raphael, the Ninja Turtle, right now in the office.
Oh, no.
So we're going to see who wins this. We've got an Allosaurus, I think it is, fighting Raphael, and I mean Raphael's a badass, so we'll see what happens. We'll see how this one plays out. I'll give you an update. Because Uncle Nick's on duty.
I like it. We should just have that be the show, like us playing with toys.
Oh, I'm playing with dinosaurs. I mean, I've got my little brain worm here.
Narrate it out. We narrate it like Arnold Schwarzenegger voice.
Toys in front of me. I want to get a Lego set, but I just love the way that looks. So I'm thinking maybe I should just get some perler beads or whatever. And I used to do those when I was little. So.
I love them. They're so much fun. My son loves doing them, and I like doing them. Like it's one of those just like little thing. And my hands shake a little bit because I have a hard time with my hands, and so like I've got neuropathy in them a little bit. But like putting the beads down, it's so relaxing, and you get to. And I was just thinking about like what is something funny that I can put big eyes on and then turn into a worm. And I was like, oh, this is RFK Jr.'s brain worm. It reminded me of the little Armageddon worms from the game, where they blow each other up. And so I was like, this is fun. This sort of fits the time. But yes, get more Legos. I always say get more Legos because Legos are so fun, but they're also so creative. Like you can do anything with Legos. You can build whatever you want out of them. My microphone stand is built out of Legos. Like
that.
Oh my gosh, that's such a
That
great
becomes
idea.
a tax. That's a tax deduction now. You know.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
Now
I
have a
built my
reason
mic
why-
stand out of Legos because it was worth it because I didn't have to buy a mic stand, and I was like, how can I
literally
do this
just
with?
bought a mic stand and I could have
Ah,
instead.
Yeah, you could have made it out of Legos.
yeah.
But
I'm
I
here for
wanted to get this
you.
little. What was that?
Well, maybe when you need a new car, you know, then you can make.
Oh,
a
you
car.
can build cars out of Legos.
Oh,
You
I
can.
know. Oh,
Like the Flintstones.
there-
No,
it's
you could actually build they've done it before. They have built a working vehicle out of Legos. Like
solar
it is
cells.
possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could hook up enough solar cells to those little. You just get a big enough motor, like an electric motor for the tires. That's a non-Lego
Yeah,
motor.
like this
That's
big.
the only part that's not Legos is your
Yeah, yeah.
axles. But you could build the rest of it. I mean, the seat might not be that comfortable. I don't know
Lego
if I want to.
airbag. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, a Lego airbag just popping out of the freaking
at
steering
that.
wheel and just like
It's build
1,000
time.
Legos assault you. Like,
God.
God, that would be the worst. It's like the people who glue
Oh my
stones
God.
to their
Oh, yeah.
airbags. And they're like, oh, look at all this
Oh.
positive energy I
Yeah.
have driving around until you get into a crash and that positive energy takes your eye out
Oh, you're
because
making me
you're a
cry.
freaking idiot. But I can just imagine this,
Oh my
like
God.
the eruption of Legos during
Yeah.
during
so
a
funny.
crash. Just like it would be like the Lego movie, but in real life.
Yeah.
And
Except a lot bloodier with a
Like
lot more
watching it would be
fatalities. Yeah.
cathartic, I'm sure. Like if you could
people
ASMR
watching it would
just
be
for
like,
Legos.
"Oh, yeah.
Death by Lego.
Oh,
And then
dear.
they like, if this
What
happens,
about
they have to then the only shots that come out from it, like the only footage that comes out from it, has to be like frame by frame,
Yeah.
like release
has
footage.
to
So
be,
it
yeah.
looks like you're like the Lego character being thrown out of the car.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Only
is
way.
appalling. Yes, that would be horrific. But could you imagine how cathartic that would be for people to just be like, oh, Legos just broke everywhere.
Like if,
Or the rage that people would feel, be like, oh my God, the Legos, they broke.
yeah.
You would get all the
Give me ideas.
reactions.
yeah? That's what we
Oh
need.
yeah, go submit. And if you're a creative person, go make your own Lego creation and try and submit it for the Lego creator. You can get your own ideas put into
Oh.
Lego options. They do that. Like all the Lego creator or the Imagine creator sets are all somebody's idea.
Oh,
Um,
really?
Like
I didn't know that.
Gizmo here, somebody
Oh.
submitted the Gizmo design for them, and then they updated it a little bit and made it
So
more
unpaid. Yeah.
solid.
Unpaid labor
and
again. That's interesting.
it kind of is, but at the same time, like
Do they get anything for it?
I
Do
don't
they,
know
like,
what you get. I don't know what you get
Okay.
in return for it. There is something you get other than the
Okay.
fact that you have a design that is now a Lego.
I mean, I think that's
like,
pretty cool. I'll
that's
take
pretty
that.
cool. Like
Yeah.
on a creative reward, that would be really
Turn
cool.
that into
Yeah.
something. Mhm.
Yeah, there's a new one that just came out or is coming out. That's a Lego creator one. It's an otter. It's a river otter, and the original submission is the river otter. It's sleeping upside down and it's got its little hands on its belly and its feet coming out of the water. It's really cool. But what they realized was they chose that design, and then they're like, well, it's a little too flat for standard Lego designs. So they added a baby. They they shrunk down Mama Otter and made a baby otter that sits on her lap,
cute.
on her chest, as like otters do,
Yeah.
and sleeps and adds height, and it's really cute. And so like I think it'd be really cool to do that, only because I like the creative part and I don't find creating Legos work. And submitting a fan idea would be really neat. So if you have your ideas, just go do it. Like
Yeah.
fill the world with joy, because then we can have fun.
Yeah. Do something besides being on the internet for a couple hours a week at very
Yeah.
least. These
Yeah,
people
like
do it.
I mean, that's
we're
something I
so
can
glad
do
you're
here
all
while
here
I'm
with
working.
us.
Yeah.
You know, I can just sit here and play with, like, I can do Legos while I'm talking to you guys. Like, you know,
Oh, you'd feel
I-
better.
we were talking about making a channel the other day. I forget who I was with, and you basically said the idea was so we could sit here and just play with Legos all day. And yes, that would not be constructive to help people who are actually suffering in the world, as if we were making Legos. And at the same time, we could sit here and talk and discuss and put ideas out there, and it wouldn't be direct politics in that way, but it would downstream influence politics because you know what the right did that we suck at doing? Capturing culture. They decided that culture was their thing and they took it over and they made culture suck because white supremacism culture sucks and it's boring and it's just like
It's not culture. It's all
it's
taken.
it's the soaking of sex. Like white supremacist culture is soaking. If you don't, do you know what that is?
No, what's soaking?
Yes, I hate. Oh my god. Yeah,
Okay.
you go ahead and tell him, Nick.
Okay.
But
Okay. I'm gonna go into this for a second.
disgusting. Trigger warning.
Trigger
Sexual-
warning. Trigger
graphic.
warning. Yeah, this is graphic. Trigger warning for a second. Please hold with us as we go just a little bit long here for a moment. Soaking is a Mormon tradition of young Mormons who are not allowed to have sex, so they sort of do.
Okay.
They lay there on the bed and it's semi-penetration.
Okay.
And then
Yeah,
someone
I'm regretting
under the bed shakes it so that they're not the ones doing the movement, so that they're not having sex.
God.
They're just having an object vibrate under them to cause the act. This is
So
why
like the
so
most
many-
popular guy is the bed shaker. You know, that's the guy everybody loves. That
Yeah.
job sucks.
And this is one of the reasons
He's like
Mormons
Goofy.
have
Is that
Mormons
good
have
enough for you up
so-
there? Hey, Mickey and Minnie, I'm gonna shake the bed.
Oh, Mickey, no.
Soaking with Disney. Yeah, okay. We lost
We broke I think we broke Natasha.
Yeah, she had to leave.
She's never going to come back to us. And like,
Oh no, I feel bad now. I hope she comes back. I hope we didn't.
and like
There
the
she's back.
whole,
What had to happen there, Natasha?
I just needed to, I just needed to laugh for a minute off.
We're just like, there she went. We lost her. Oh
we
shit.
broke her. We broke her. And like,
Oh,
the thing, like, yes, it does sound very Handmaid's Tale-ish, but this is also what leads to a lot of pregnancies for Mormons and
God,
young
yeah.
Mormon couples. And there's a
So
reason why so many Mormons get married at such a young age, because they're not allowed to have sex until they're married, but they can soak. And there's also this song about the back door.
Oh
that-
God. Okay. Yeah, that's enough.
we won't do that one, but there's like
Yeah.
there's this whole song about Jesus and the back door.
Oh shit.
And
Let's just
oh
leave
my
it.
God, it is the most hilarious thing I've ever watched because they also contort themselves into, again, graphic for just a second,
Yeah.
into
Oh, God.
believing that anal sex is not sex and that
Who
they
came
can
up
do
with all these
that.
ideas? Was it all the same guy? Is it like in a coloring book? They made like
I
a
mean,
coloring
Joseph
book of-
Smith was a fraudster who
Oh,
brought
boy.
golden tablets out of the forest of Vermont and sold people on this bill of lies that he knew what he was talking about and that he
You
was
know-
their savior. And he had these golden tablets that he could talk to God with, and that we were finding white Jesus in America. And oh, by the way, I have to take all your wives and I have to
Yeah.
marry all your daughters and I have to impregnate them and spread my seed across the world because I am Joseph
Yeah.
Smith. And if you don't believe in me, you're a heretic and I'm going to murder you and I'm going to genocide your people across the country. And then they hung him for fucking fraud. They killed him.
Yeah.
Joseph Smith
The
was
good days.
killed for fraud, for abuse. Like he was killed because of it. And now we have a fucking religion that's based off of him.
We gotta bring
Sounds
up
like
these
Donald
songs.
Trump. Sounds like we're going to have a new
Yeah.
religion based off Donald fucking Trump, and the
Oh,
MAGAs
God.
are going to have their own stupid religion. And they're going to believe in some golden tablet asshole who came off down golden escalator saying
Oh,
he
boy.
could save the world and he's the only one who can talk to God. Yes, Jesus
Have to
Christ of
destroy
the
it
Latter-day
first.
Saints is Mormonism. Mormonism or the Latter-day Saints are founded on white supremacy
Yeah.
and genocide.
We
And
gotta
we
bring
have
up
to be
these
willing to
songs.
confront it.
We got to bring up these songs when they talk about religion in schools. It's like, you mean like this song? And then like the song you just mentioned. It's like, how can they get away? They're out there burning like completely reasonable works of literature that people have read for hundreds of years. And then they want to insert there to like these ideas and nobody even combats them on that. I mean,
I was shocked when I saw a list of banned books. And like, I didn't realize like 1984 and Fahrenheit 50 or 451 and shit like that. Like I was flabbergasted. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like I read this in like middle school. This was like required reading. It's banned. Like if you
never banned Mein Kampf though.
Like,
you never see Mein Kampf on a banned book list. I've pointed that out a bunch of times. Yeah.
But you do see books like Uncle Tom's Cabin, which I read in high school, which is a fucking hard book to read. Holy shit. Like I don't remember much of the book, but I distinctly remember it was one of the hardest books to ever read.
Yeah.
Because it was just tough. It was
the reality of these atrocities hits you. Yeah.
It hit you. And I was a high schooler and I was like, fuck. This is like, gee, this is not cool. Like this is who we were. This is not fucking cool. Like this is who we were and what we have done. And like, that's why I like reading Mark Twain, because he spoke truth. He talked about history or his time period, not very rosily, or through rose-colored glasses. He was pretty honest about things. And we have folks in American history who have been continuing to fight this system. Hey, you've got 3 more right here waiting for us to continue to fight this system, because we're not going to fucking stop here. Like I'm not going to stop, because I don't want to live in a society that teaches my daughter she's lesser than, or teaches my son that he's greater than, or teaches me that I'm greater than just because of some inherent thing that I have no control over. I was born white. I have no control over that. I was born into a family that had both Jewish and French Catholic leanings or traditions. I had no control over that, but I did have control over all the actions I took after that. And hate is taught, and I refuse to teach it, unless it's hate of like Nazis. Then we can just we can punch the Nazis.
Yeah, we talked about that.
We also need to tie Nazism closer to Confederacy, because I don't think enough people really see.
Yeah, I wrote an article on that the other day. Yeah.
But we're a little over time. I've got a show I've got to get ready for here in a little bit, because I've got an intelligent masculinity interview this afternoon with someone who's not as familiar to the community, but I got to meet while I was in Minnesota, is Matt. He goes under the pseudonym of Matt McAngry, or U.S. Angry Vet, or nice. U.S. Marine, angry U.S. Marine vet, something along those lines. He's a Marine vet. He's angry. He's fucking awesome.
Is he on Instagram?
I believe so. Yes, he's crazy gray, big gray beard, kind of crazy, like Bushman looking.
Awesome.
You'll catch the show, everyone. No, Angry Male Vet's a different person. Hey, Valor Media, what's up, friends? I am a huge supporter and fan of Valor Media. Please go subscribe to them. They just popped into our network. They are a veteran-run organization. Ken Harbaugh, Chris Goldsmith are a part of them. I've met some incredible people because of Valor Media and because of the Veterans Fighting Fascism organizations. So I truly value the support that they give. And so you're going to actually see for the next couple of weeks, basically, aside from Joe Walsh on Thursday, because like I said, conservatism doesn't mean regression. Joe may have helped get us here, but he's also getting us out of it. And I want to talk to Joe about his journey on masculinity, but Matt's going to be a great example. And like, I got to meet some really cool people, and you're all going to get to meet them too. So hang on. There's some really good stuff coming out for Sick of This Shit publications. However, Natasha, this is for you now. Promote yourself. Promote how people can support you, what you're doing, because you are fucking awesome. And if nobody has told you that today, you're awesome. You're amazing. You're fantastic. Thank you for coming on with us. I appreciate you. And it's always so fun to just get to talk to you.
Yeah, you too. You guys can follow me at truthshewrote.com, or go ahead and scan the QR code. Thank you guys for putting that up. That was very kind of you. Yeah, just follow me. I try to keep everything as truthful as possible. But call me out or let me know if anything I post is not. But that's why I'm here, is to spread as much truth and awareness as possible, and just let you all know that we all have the power together to change everything that we're not happy with right now. So yeah, just trying to spread that word. So give me a follow if you don't.
Love it. Love it, Natasha. Thank you so much. And everyone, I know her name's not on the show link for right now, but she will get tagged in the post show, just like Shane will get tagged in the post show as well. Is support the hell out of Natasha. She's fucking awesome, and she's coming out here and speaking truth. And all we need to do is listen. Like, listen and pick up the torch.
True.
It's not that hard, guys. It's not that hard, friends. Like, we just need to listen to the people who know what they're saying, who have been in the rooms, who have been through these situations. Just listen. We listen, we learn, and we can go forward and we can win. So support Natasha, because she's telling truth. And we want to get what she's talking about out there, and into our own idea sets, because that's what we need to do. We need to win. We need to win, and I don't want to regress. We need to fucking win.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Natasha. Walter, how about you, my brother?
Oh boy, yeah, thanks so much, you guys. It's always a delight to talk to you guys, and it's validating. We keep saying that. And Natasha and I were talking this morning too, and it's just, we keep unlocking all those little things that have been installed in our minds against our will, and it's stunning, isn't it? The number of things that we've been conditioned to assume are true that just are flat out lies. And once you remove them, you examine them, and you remove them, you become empowered. And it seems like we got a lot that's against us, but they are terrified, and they spend all this energy oppressing us because they know how weak their position is. And we just keep doing this, and it's like it's going to fall. This ideology of authoritarianism, of cruelty, of hatred, it is designed to collapse. We need to accelerate that collapse, and the fight is all we have. So don't ever back down from the fight. There's no protection in compliance. There never is. And this is what we teach our kids too. I've been reflecting on that, how I don't know how my kids even look at the world, having to deal with me as their dad, the things I tell them, and just like, but they never stop hearing it. It's like, yep, you don't have to trust that guy. You don't have to listen to what he says. That guy probably raped a kid, so don't let him make you feel guilty about yourself. Who the hell is that person to tell you that you're not good enough? That person is an abuser. And it's once you start allowing yourself to think these things, and you kind of look back, I look back on my own life, all these people that told me that I didn't measure up to them, the truth comes out, and how evil they all were, all the atrocities they committed, worse than the worst things I could have ever imagined. And we're surrounded by that. And I've been doing my ongoing project where I've been interviewing progressive candidates. I always thank them, saying, thank you for coming on and talking with me, being this new form of candidate that actually is engaged with the people they're supposed to represent. They are our servants, And so I'm so appreciative. All the people in the chat who chose to spend some time with us today, and Nick and Natasha, thank you guys so much for helping me not feel so alone, and for helping me feel more validated, and for continuing this journey of discovery that will help empower us all. So thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad, Walter. I'm glad we met all those months ago now, and that we've been doing this for so long, and being able to talk, because it's fantastic getting to ground ourselves every week and have these conversations and keep moving the discussions forward, and building off each other and learning from each other. And so support Walter, and then come support me here at Sick of This Shit Publications. Become a paid or free subscriber here. They really help. But just come support, come share the content that we're creating for all of us. The biggest thing you can do outside of becoming a subscriber is like, share, and restack. I know it sounds repetitive, and I know we say it a lot, but like, share, and restack, because the more you get it out there, the more the content is seen and visible. And like I introduced yesterday in Palin Talk, I'm working on some tool automations that help get us into distribution spaces that are less about visibility on a human level and more about visibility on an AI level. And so I'm going to be working in my own system so that I can test it, is onboard the Notes of the Week podcast to be able to release all of our written episodes and then start doing write-ups and transcription reviews of some of the old episodes and start putting up all the write-ups of our discussions, key points we're talking about, onto a platform called GitHub. And I'm working to get folks onboarded, because once I can get myself fully onboarded, I can get others onboarded. And we're going to just start distributing content onto a GitHub Pages page that feeds the AI systems, because one of the most important places that AI pulls from is a website called GitHub, because it owns all of the code, almost all of the code repositories that people work on, and product designs and other things like that. And guess what? Now Banner and Backbone and Sick of This Shit publications are releasing onto GitHub too, because fuck the AI guys, fuck the technocrats. We're going to come at you from where you don't expect us to.
Under the bed.
We're going to soak the world now. We're going to break that. We're gonna earthquake it so that soak goes away. Because fuck you guys. Mormons, you guys are weird. Some of the things you guys do are weird.
Callback.
Sorry, not sorry. But like the soaking thing, like, y'all, come on. Just let people have sex. If you taught them how to have sex properly and taught them how to use condoms and like birth control, maybe y'all wouldn't be exploding out like rabbits. Maybe you wouldn't have families that are 18 strong.
Oh gosh.
And you're feeding
that's
an
what they
army.
want.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
That's what
I know.
Breed. Like that's
You're a vessel for breeding. I know.
Yeah.
I know. I keep forgetting, Natasha, that like we respect women here and we treat you like people and we don't demean you. And yeah.
But that's what it is for them. It's about control and submission and, keeping these rules so that women think that whatever.
Because fuck
Patriarchy.
Yeah. Fuck over 50% of the population in the world who, we wouldn't be here without.
Yeah. The creators of life. Yeah.
They're the creators of life. They're the bringers of death.
Yep.
They
brought you into this world. We can take you out of it.
Like a phrase I heard growing up is like, hell hath no fury like a woman's scorn.
Yeah.
Like I learned that phrase growing up because it's kind of true. Like
that's why they're afraid.
That's why they're afraid, because women don't hold back. Men, the women that they're afraid of are like Natasha, who don't hold back and who tell the powerful truth. And we're the ones they're also afraid of because we like platforming and talking with Natasha and folks like Natasha who speak the truth and don't hold fucking back, because we don't hold back here. Because again, I'm going to do a 2-finger salute to the Republican side of the aisle, to the men who suck, to all of you pieces of shit out there who think you are better than others around you just because you're white and or a man. Guess what? Just suck less. Just fucking suck less. That's it. Just suck less.
Yeah.
Just suck less. That's all we want. All right, friends. We've kept you long enough. I've got another show to go to. Walter and I keep going longer and longer. Eventually, this is just going to be a day long.
Yeah, we'll just never quit. It'll be like going into orbit.
5 hours a day. We probably could. We'd have such an incredible discussion, I think, every time we did that.
Once we get sleep deprived, get really
like a weekly thing where you have just like a marathon once a week.
Yeah, Nick and Walter marathon 8 hours on Tuesday. God, that would be tough.
That'd be insane.
That would be insane. But we could have some fun discussions. But anyways, y'all, come support the three of us. And if I can find his QR code, it's his older logo, but I'm going to see if I can find it. There it is. Come support Shane too at the Firebrand Project. He hopped on with us for a little while. He's my brother, helps me a lot with Palantalk. He is an incredible analyst and researcher. He's doing some really, really good work and is putting out a lot of really good content, especially around the war fronts that are going on around the world, not just in Iran, but all of them. He focuses on a lot and he does a lot. And so come support Shane. He's doing incredible work. And then come support us three while you're at it. If you're on Substack, hit the subscribe button. Natasha's going to get tagged in the post show. Shane will get tagged in the post show. And Walter and I will see y'all next week for another Notes of the Week. This has been incredible. It's been a lot of fun as always, friends. Let's talk next week. Let's stop being sick of this shit and let's start doing this shit. Have a great one, y'all.
Bye,
Thanks.
everybody.
Thanks, Walter. Thanks, Natasha.
Thank you.